We're starting just a smidge early. Game kicks off at 12 o'clock. There's actually two games that's going to be on right now. It's going to be the Sugar Bowl between Alabama, Kansas State, and the Music City Bowl. It's actually a rematch of a bowl from last year, Iowa versus Kentucky. I believe Kentucky beat Iowa last year. So we'll try to, if one game gets boring, we'll try to switch over to the other. It's good to have options. You never know. Maybe Alabama starts blowing out Kansas State, or maybe Kansas State starts blowing out Alabama, or maybe it's just boring. Who knows? It's good to have options. Good to have options. Something in my eye that I can't get out. What's going on, Hillbilly Skeptic? In the house. So, yeah, Kentucky fans, I got you covered today. I know the title says Sugar Bowl, but we'll be watching the Music City Bowl as well. Gotta get something out of my eyes. I think it's an eyelash. I hate it when that happens. Which is, unfortunately, it's very, very normal for there to get an eyelash in my eyes. Like once a week it happens. It's very, very annoying. I don't know if I have weak eyelashes or whatever, but it's annoying. Shout out to my son's girlfriend's parent. They're the ones that excuse me. They're the ones that got this nice mug. Yes, even has the golden Bluetooth on it. How about that? Wonder if we could sell something like this in the merch store. That'd be pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet, ain't it? And it doesn't have to be West Virginia. We can put whoever's team on there. Both of these bowls are important for the SEC, and then of course the Sugar Bowl is very important for the Big 12 because both of these conferences, they haven't done so well in bowl season so far. Florida, probably the worst performance of any team in the entire bowl season. Anybody. And yes, we've seen some bad teams, but they got absolutely blasted by Oregon State 30-3 in the Las Vegas Bowl. Wake Forest beats Missouri in the Gasparilla Bowl 27-17. Ole Miss lost to Texas Tech 42-25 in the Texas Bowl, and then afterwards, Lane Kiffin makes a bunch of accusations and acts like a big baby. Let's see here. South Carolina lost to Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl. That was a good game, though. I really enjoyed that game. I was actually hoping South Carolina was going to win that game. But the two wins, Arkansas beat Kansas 55-53 in triple overtime in Liberty Bowl, excuse me. And Tennessee beat Clemson 31-14 in the Orange Bowl last night. Snooze fest of a bowl. So far the SEC is 2-4. Big 12 not much better. In fact, they're worse. Baylor lost to Air Force 30-15 in the Armed Forces Bowl. Oklahoma State lost to Wisconsin and looked terrible doing so, 24-17 in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Kansas lost to Arkansas 55-53 in 3 overtimes in the Liberty Bowl. Texas lost to Washington 27-20 in the Alamo Bowl. And Oklahoma lost to Florida State 35-32 in the Cheez-It Bowl. So I think that's, 1-6? 1-5, excuse me. 1-5. That's not good. So as bad as the SEC has been in bowls, the Big 12 has actually been worse. Man. Let me give a statement about Pitt real quick. So a lot of people, of course, Pitt beat UCLA yesterday. Great bowl in the Sun Bowl. Basically a last-second field goal to walk off UCLA. And UCLA was a really good team. And Pitt had a good year. They started the season with a win over West Virginia in the backyard brawl, and they ended the season with a win in a Sun Bowl win over UCLA. Now, in the preseason, I predicted Pitt to take a step back, and I'm getting a lot of comments. So I thought you said that Pitt was going to take a step back. They had 9 wins and they won a decent bowl. Yes, and that's a pretty good year, but that's still a step back from last year. Remember, Pitt won the ACC 11-3, went to New Year's Six Bowl. Yes, they lost to Michigan State. That's still a slight step back. So whenever you look at one season versus the next, you have to look at its how it's relative to each team. Last year, Pitt had a really good season, 11-3. So really, anything short of winning the ACC again and going back to New Year's Six Bowl was going to be a step back, and that's what I predicted. That's what happened. So I didn't think Pitt was going to be a horrible team or anything like that, but I was pretty sure they're going to take a step back because I didn't think Pitt was going to win the ACC. That wasn't a difficult prediction. It really wasn't. Right now, College Game Day is going through their predictions. Music City Bowl, Desmond Howard has Iowa. Pat McAfee has Iowa. Lee Corso has Iowa. Oof. No faith in Kentucky. Wow. Well, Kirk. There you go, Kentucky fans. You got one vote. Kirk Herbstreit votes Kentucky. All right, now their votes for the Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl votes. Here we go. Dez has, this will probably be Alabama across the board. Dez has, come on, Dez. Thank you, Hillbilly Skeptic, for joining the channel. Dez has Alabama, of course. Pat McAfee, Alabama, easy. Lee Corso, I predict he's going to do Alabama. Let's see. Come on, Lee. Now, Lee's actually done better this year. We all know that he's lost a step. There for a while, it was very tough to watch, but he's doing a lot better recently. I will say that. So shout out to Lee Corso. It will be sad to see him go. He needs to go while he still has all his faculties. Clean sweep. Everybody predicts Alabama to win the Sugar Bowl. College football playoff predictions. Here we go. Dez is going to take probably Michigan. This might be a sweep too. Yeah, that was predictable. Michigan. Pat McAfee, is he going to let his hatred for Rich Rod pick against Michigan? And the answer is no. He's going with Michigan. Good pick. Lee Corso is going with Michigan. And Kirk Herbstreit. He's an Ohio State guy, so he might pick against Michigan. Let's see if he can resist dumping on Michigan. Michigan, actually. Nope, he picked Michigan. Clean sweep for Michigan. There you go. Georgia, Ohio State. I expect this to be split in some manner. I do not see a clean sweep. I think at least one person will pick Ohio State. But hey, I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. Let's see. Are they not picking it? I know. I think Kirk has to cover it, but the other four can pick it. Come on, guys. Yeah, here we go. Only 2 picks, though. So that's going to be more difficult to split because you need one person for Georgia and one person for Ohio State. And Dez, I think he'll go with Georgia because he's a Michigan guy. Yep, Georgia. And Georgia is the better team. So it's not a bad pick. Pat McAfee. Which, by the way, guys, let's get his pick first before I say this. Pat, man, he is a great personality. He works for the WWE as well. He has his own YouTube channel. He works for College Game Day. The dude is very, very entertaining. For a kicker, that's amazing. Think about that. Yes, he was a really, really good kicker, but still, a kicker. Doing great things. The fan vote says Georgia 77%, and it is a clean sweep. Pat McAfee says Georgia. So, I don't know how long this will take. I don't know if it'll actually happen, but Joey is working on whether it's a 5-second clip, whether it's a guest appearance, whether it's a shout out on his channel for us. We're trying to work something out with Pat McAfee to where he can either come on our channel or shout us out on his channel. I think it's more likely that he shouts us out on his channel. And I believe he said he's already going to do that, but it just hasn't happened yet. I've been keeping my eyes out for his live shows. So if anybody watches Pat McAfee out there and you hear him, shout out Golden Blue, please let me know so we can know which live show that happens. So we're working stuff out, guys. We got a lot of irons in the fire when it comes to what we're doing in the off season. Remember, the off season that's not that. There's no stopping point for Golden Blue. There is no off season. We actually, honestly, we actually kick it up a notch in the off season because, you know, for college football YouTube channels, whenever you get to the off season, things start to die down. People start to lose interest. So we gotta work more, you know, to keep those views up. And yes, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say views do matter. This is what I do for a living, so views do matter. So we gotta work harder, smarter, and you know, just keep people entertained. Yeah, a great way to support Golden Blue is a free way actually, and that's share the stream, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. All that stuff is free. You can also help through the super chat. Joey will put the PayPal link in the description as well. Off season, those donations really keep the channel going. So we appreciate you know, everybody supporting. That's up to you. Hey, I will say this: if you don't have it, don't donate. I do not want anybody, you know, risking any of their health or financial well-being just to support me. No, don't do that. Just, you know, hit the like button and subscribe. You're good. Don't worry about that. I've seen people. I've watched other live streams and I knew certain people were kind of in the bind, but still wanted to support the channel, and they hit the super chat. I'm like, you know, I'm sure they appreciate that, but please don't do that. If you don't have it, don't do it. We want everybody to have a uh, prosperous new year, a healthy, prosperous new year. That's what we want. And don't forget, hey, don't forget to check out Patreon page. Joey will drop the link to that as well. Patreon in the off season, that's when things get really fun because in the regular season, we do have the score prediction contest where we awarded, it did happen every single week. We awarded $20 to the person that came the closest to the game that I picked. So I would pick a game, and all my Patreons would give a score prediction, and they had to pick the correct winner as well. And every week, we award one person $20. And it depended on what dollar amount you were as far as Patreon goes. If you were a $5 Patreon, then you got 5 guesses per week. $10 Patreon, 10 guesses per week, and so on and so forth. So whenever the regular season was over with, then we did the championship week score prediction, and Robert Gurney won. Robert, if you're in the chat, I'm still waiting for your PayPal handle. I need to send you that $25. But Robert Gurney won the championship week prediction contest, and right now we are on the bowl prediction contest. Winner will receive the not $5, $50 first place prize. Second place prize is an autographed Golden Blue Dudes flat bill hat, and the third place prize is a shout out on my channel. But in the off season, we're definitely gonna do the drawing where I pay for a Patreon's subscription for that month, and it has to be at least $10. So if I draw a name and it's only a $2 Patreon, then I'm going to keep drawing until I hit $10. So we have that drawing every month. We will do a March Madness contest, and that was a little more difficult. We might be bumping up the prize money on that one. That's a big one. So, you know, if nothing else, join Patreon for the bracket contest. That's going to be a good one. Can't wait for that. And we'll have other contests as well. So keep that in mind. Just when you think college football is about to die off, as far as the offseason goes, Golden Blue Dude turns it up a notch. All right, so Alabama just made their entrance. I don't know if Kansas State's already entered or not. I think they're about to enter. Kansas State is now making their entrance. There you go. Well, on top of that, it's not just the contest. We have a lot of fun over there on Patreon. Now, here recently, we haven't been able to do as many live shows as we want because, number one, I haven't had a laptop. I haven't been able to do live shows on the main channel as much as I wanted to because my laptop is still being fixed. Fortunately, it was under warranty, so it is getting fixed. But the problem is, I do these regular videos throughout the day, and I edit and all that stuff, and it sucks up the battery. So in the evening, which is when I usually do my live shows, I don't have enough battery to do a live show. So that's why we haven't been doing any live shows. Well, that's why we haven't been doing very many live shows. It's because of the stupid laptop. The charging port where you plug it up for it to charge up, something happened. I don't know if it came loose or if it broke or whatever, but it wouldn't charge. It wouldn't keep it charged. So, just wouldn't work. Didn't have the power. All right, so this one's going to commercial. Let's see if the other game's about to kick off. We're going to go back and forth between the Sugar Bowl and the Music City Bowl. We'll try to focus on the Sugar Bowl because that's the bigger bowl. But, I don't know if y'all have noticed this. If you've been around Golden Blue for a while, then you definitely know. But if you're new and you don't know too much about me, when commercials come on for a game, I don't like it. I'm very OCD about that. Having said that, I don't hate commercials because I understand their purpose. Because now that I have a YouTube channel and that's how you get paid with ads, AdSense, and all that stuff, I understand the value of it. I understand, what purpose it serves. But as far as on TV, I don't like them. I have to switch. So, yes, there will be a lot of switching, but we will try to stay focused on the Sugar Bowl for sure. Real quickly, who y'all got? Give me two predictions, all right? And we'll ask about the playoffs later. But for right now, kickoff for both games. Who do you think is going to win between Iowa and Kentucky in the Music City Bowl and Alabama, Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl? Leave your guesses in the comments section. This is not any type of contest or anything like that. This is just to have fun to see who everybody thinks is going to win these two games. So who you got in the Sugar Bowl? Kansas State, Alabama, and Music City Bowl, Iowa, Kentucky. Once everybody is done with their guesses, I will give you my guess as well. Wet Blanket says Kansas State. Who do you got for the Music City Bowl, Wet Blanket? Kansas State over Alabama. I like it. I think most people have Alabama. I like Kansas State's chances. They played TCU tough the first go around. They got down to their third string quarterback, and that's basically what cost them the game because they were all over TCU whenever they were at their first and second string. And then in the Big 12 championship, they straight up beat TCU. Is TCU better than Alabama? In my opinion, I think so. That's not saying that Alabama is a bad team. I just think they're having a down year. Think about that. Imagine being part of a fan base where a down year is still a 10-win season. Blows my mind. Oh, man, we had a bad year. We went 10-2, guys. Got to do better than that. My gosh, y'all are spoiled. In a good way. I wish I was spoiled. Leave your guesses in the comments section. Who do you think is going to win between Kansas State, Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, and Iowa, Kentucky in the Music City Bowl? We have Hillbilly Skeptic saying Alabama, also saying Iowa should win because Kentucky doesn't have Will Levis. That is a good point. You have to factor in, these opt-outs and these transfers, which, yesterday the Pitt man, I think it was John. Was it John Waffle? I think it was John Waffle. I don't think it was Thomas Pitt. One of them, the Pitt man, was whining because UCLA was beating them by 2 touchdowns. Our starters sat out. That happens. Problem is, you were crying too soon. Pitt actually came back and beat UCLA on the last-second field goal. So you just you gotta relax. Games have ebbs and flows, ups and downs, runs and droughts. So you got to stick with it and not throw in the towel early and start making excuses because you never know what's going to happen. You just never know. Scotty B says, first off, we need to send prayers to the friends and family of the BYU football player Say on Viesco or Visco. I heard a little bit about that, but not much. Not much. No, Pitt. Listen, for 2023, West Virginia's not going to be that good. Okay, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to have a 10-win season, but I don't think we make a bowl again. Neil Brown needs to go, but we will get up for the backyard brawl in Morgantown, and I will be at that backyard brawl as well. And even this year, as bad as we were, Pitt only beat West Virginia at home by a touchdown. So, no, that rivalry game, West Virginia will win that. Pitt will still probably have a better season than West Virginia, but I'm going to be at that game. I expect West Virginia to beat Pitt in Morgantown. James Williams says Kansas State. Gotcha. Ray Goodsell says, go Irish. Yep, they did beat South Carolina yesterday. That was a great game. Well, John Waffle, you got to remember every team has haters. It happens. So you got to ignore the haters and just focus on, pulling for your team. Even my team, I have put a big old bullseye on West Virginia because this channel has gained subscribers, and a lot of people know about it. We still have a long ways to go before we're a relevant YouTube channel, but we are growing. But man, right when I start this channel and try to bring clout and the spotlight on West Virginia, we have a terrible year. So I tried to support my team, get some attention for West Virginia. What do? They make me look bad. They suck. Kansas State has the ball first, by the way. It's going to be 3rd and 1. They are at their own 26-yard line. They're going to run the ball a lot, and it looks like they're already successful with it. So we'll see if Kansas State sticks with the run game. I fully expect that. Deuce Vaughn is one of the best running backs in the entire nation. So if Kansas State veers away from that, shame on you. That would be a stupid, stupid game plan. Stupid. Kansas State's game plan: run the ball, shorten the game, move the chains, wear out the defense. And this Alabama defense isn't elite like it usually is. Nice little swing pass, and he's going to gain some yardage. That's going to be a good 20-yard run. Good play design. They faked the inside handoff and threw it to the outside. Didn't try to take a shot or anything like that. They were just focused on getting a first down, and Kansas State moves the chains. This was a good play. And you can see, like, that was not a good tackle attempt by Alabama. So they're not playing at a high level this year. Deuce Vaughn running over guys. That's another 5-yard gain. They're starting to wear on that Alabama defense already. So Kansas State will be looking at a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. If you weren't here earlier, I was going over just how bad of a bowl season both the SEC and the Big 12 has had this year. Not very good for either. This is a big bowl game for both of these. So, do not think that I'm not interested in this, because I am. I'm not a conference homer like a lot of people are, but at the same time, you don't want your conference to look terrible. So for the SEC, Florida, worst performance by any bowl team the entire bowl season so far. They got blasted by Oregon State 30-3 in the Las Vegas Bowl. Missouri lost to Wake Forest in the Gasparilla Bowl 27-17. Ole Miss lost to Texas Tech 42-25 in the Texas Bowl, and South Carolina lost to Notre Dame 45-38 in the Gator Bowl. The only 2 wins, first down Kansas State again, by the way. The only 2 wins by the SEC, Arkansas beat Kansas 55-53 in 3 overtimes in one of the best Liberty Bowls, maybe the best Liberty Bowl of all time. That was a great bowl. My vote for the best bowl game of the year so far. And then Ole Miss, then Tennessee beats Clemson 31-14. So the SEC is 2-4 in bowls. They need this win. But the Big 12, we might need this win more. Is that a great catch or an intercept? That's an interception. Alabama just picked off Kansas. What did I tell you, Kansas State? Why? Start getting cute, trying to take shots, which is not your strength. Getting away from the run game, and what happens? You get picked off. I understand it. Anyways, for the Big 12, Baylor lost to Air Force badly, 30-15 in the Armed Forces Bowl. Oklahoma State lost to Wisconsin and looked absolutely terrible in the loss, 24-17 in the guaranteed rate ball. Kansas lost to Arkansas, 55-3, 3 overtimes in a great Liberty Bowl. Texas lost to Washington, 27-20 in the Alamo Bowl, and Oklahoma lost to Florida State, 35-32 in the Cheez-It Bowl. The only win that the Big 12 has right now in bowl season, Texas Tech beating Ole Miss 42-35. So the SEC is 2-4 bowls, Big 12 1-5. That it's almost like coaches get too cute sometimes. They try to outcoach the other team and they get away from their strengths. Like I literally said, when Kansas State was driving on Alabama, stick to your strength. Run the ball, wear that defense out, move the chains. That's exactly what they were doing, having a ton of success. The very first time they got cute and tried to throw it downfield, what happens? They get picked off. Makes no sense. You know that's not your strength. You know that Alabama is better at defending the pass. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And it's kind of a consistent thing, too. If you look at the games that Kansas State struggled, it's whenever the running game wasn't doing very well and they had to rely more on the pass game. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Your run game was actually doing good. So why did you – I don't get it. I really don't. I bet Deuce Vaughn is madder than a Hornet right now. I don't get it. Makes no sense. Let's see. I want to make sure I get a good camera shot for the balls. Where's the left, right? I could stay more to the right, so I'll put these matchups over here. All right, so let's put these actual matchups that's going on. So Kansas State. State Alabama. So up here. And Kentucky. Well, I don't have an Iowa. Dadgummit. Iowa fans, let me down. I don't have an Iowa. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We got this. We're good. I'm confident we'll have an Iowa helmet by next year. I'm confident about that. We're good. If you have a comment, question, troll attempts that you want me to read and that you want everybody else to see, just hit the super chat button. We appreciate the donation. It's a great way to support the channel. And it's a great way to be heard and shouted out by yours truly. Alabama quarterback is panicking. Bryce Young is already. I will say this: Kansas State has a legit defense, and they already have Bryce Young panicking. This could be a bad sign for Alabama. This could be a bad sign. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I 100% agree with that. Pat Narduzzi is a much better coach over Neil Brown, and I expect Pat Narduzzi to move on to a bigger name. I think bigger names will come calling for Pat Narduzzi. So yeah, you got to give credit to the Pitt coach. He's a pretty good coach. Once again, Kansas State getting pressure on Bryce Young, making him hurry, and I believe that was a 3-and-out. If I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but I think that was a 3-and-out. Nice defensive stand. So your bread and butter defense, you did one very well. Oh, that was just bad timing by the quarterback. He was running a hitch route. Well, Kansas State hurried him. That's what I was saying. Now, on offense, Kansas State needs to focus on running. That is your bread and butter. Run the ball, shorten the game, move the chains, play good defense. Stop taking shots. What happened the first time? You got picked off. Don't do it again. Bad decision. That was more on the coaching. I don't know why he did that. That coach, Chris Klieman, he's a good coach. I'm not trying to trash talk him. He is a good coach, but that one was on him. That was a bad play call in a bad situation, and it killed the momentum. I mean, you were driving Alabama, and you were actually manhandling them on the offensive line there. So why you did that, I have no idea. So let's see if Chris Klieman learned his lesson. Stick with the run game. Where on that defensive line of Alabama, or if he makes some more stupid play calls. I will say this, for whatever reason, YouTube has not been suggesting my regular videos or my live show. So if y'all get a quick second, please share these videos. It helps us out a lot. I don't know why YouTube does that sometimes, but man, we've been having big time trouble with them not recommending our videos. And there for a while, they were recommending them like crazy, but for whatever reason, the past, I don't know, 2 months, maybe it's because of the volume of other channels. So we'll see in the off season whenever the competition kind of dies down, because a lot of other channels, I'm not saying all channels, but a lot of other channels, they claim there's nothing to talk about. But listen, whenever I started this channel, and especially whenever my brother said, I bet you can't do this every day, I was like, if ESPN can do it, I can do it as well. Trust me, there's something to talk about every single day. John Waffle, H2P, thank you for the $4.99 donation. Says Narduzzi will only leave for Michigan State. He's being paid $5 million. Yeah, I mean but $5 million is nothing to sneeze about, all right? Especially to us, common folk. But compared to other, $5 million is not even that much more than what West Virginia plays or pays Neil Brown. So it's not that much. But no, Neil Brown's got bumped up to like 4.1, 4.2, something like that. Whenever he was extended, I'm pretty sure it's like 4. I might be wrong, but I thought that was the figure that I saw. But anyways, even if it's 3 point something or whatever, and it's over $1 million more than Neil Brown, compared to these other big brands, $5 million isn't that much. There are other schools, especially the success he's having over there at Pitt. I mean, do Pitt fans remember what Pitt football was like before Pat Narduzzi? It was not. There was a long stretch of time where Pitt was just flat out irrelevant. They were terrible. So Pat Narduzzi is a great coach. Don't take him for granted. There will be other big brands that will come a calling and will have more money. So don't get too comfortable with that $5 million. John Moffman, you might be right. I might be thinking you got to raise up to 3.1, 3.2. I don't know. I thought it was 4.1, 4.2, which you might be right about that. Don't quote me on that. Liberty is paying their coach $5 million. Yep, that's a good point. This is what I've been saying, guys. Pitt is paying their coach $5 million. Liberty is paying their coach $5 million. Why can't West Virginia invest money into their coaching staff? And another first down by Kansas. They're running it down their throat. Stick with it, guys. I know it's not flashy. I know you're not chunking, 30, 40 yards at a time, but you're hurting that defense. That wasn't a run play, by the way. That was a short pass. But anyways, don't take shots. That's not your strength, Kansas State. Don't take shots. But anyways, my point is, do not get this twisted. I don't think that Neil Brown should get paid more than what he's getting paid or what he's getting paid. I don't think he deserves to get paid at all. I think he needs to go. My point is, if Pitt can afford to pay their coaching staff $5 million, and freaking Liberty can afford to pay their coach $5 million, then West Virginia can afford to go out and look for a quality coaching staff and pay that coach $5 million. So that's the thing that needs to get figured out. West Virginia needs to be committed to football and put out the money necessary to get a quality coach. I'm not saying we can afford to pay, $8 million, $9 million, whatever. I think West Virginia can go as high as 6. I do. Maybe 7. That might be stretching a little bit. But 6, definitely. You can get a decent coach with $6 million a year. Even if it turns out to be a stepping stone, hey, as long as he leaves you in a good spot, then you'll be an attraction for all these other hot names out there, and you could keep it going, even if you are a stepping stone. But you have to make that initial investment, and West Virginia's just not doing it. I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't. Looks like Kansas State is not learning their lesson. They're taking shots again. That one wasn't even close. So the first time you took a shot, intercepted. Second time you take a shot, not even close. Don't take shots. I understand maybe to keep the defense honest, but make sure it's a safe play to where it doesn't get picked. Because that first time, you got picked. Luckily, Kansas State has a really good defense, and it stopped Alabama. But from what I'm seeing early in the game, barring a massive momentum shift, it does look like Kansas State is more prepared than Alabama. The score is still tied 0-0. We're down to around the 8.5-minute mark in the first quarter. Still plenty of Sugar Bowl to be played. But right now, just looking at the meter of both teams, the execution of both teams, Kansas State is much more prepared for this football game than Alabama, and that's crazy to say. Chris Kleiman. So far, up to this point, Chris Kleiman has outcoached Nick Saban. Like I said, it's really early still. Back to pass. Decent throw. That's going to be a first down. Nice little out route, nothing fancy. Shout out, hey, even though he's a Pitt fan, shout out to John Waffle. He's a great supporter here at Golden Blue Dude. He super chats regularly during the live shows. He comments regularly on the regular videos. He shows up more than most West Virginia subscribers. How sad is that? Nick D TV, I see you in the chat, so I'm not talking about all West Virginia subscribers. But, I mean, we got John Waffle in the house. We got John in the house. Pitt subscribers, man, I'm telling you, they support this channel. And we really appreciate it. It's like Kansas State is close to another first down. No, I did not see Steve Sarkisian. I heard about it, but I didn't see it. This is going to be a tackle for a loss. Alabama finally got the backfield and tackled Deuce. So this is going to be a 3rd and 8. So a 3rd and long for Kansas State. It looks like they are in field goal range, so maybe they can at least get some points out of this. That was a bad cut by Vaughn. I don't understand why he did that. There was a seam to the left. I don't know why he cut right. But, you know, after the fact, it's easy to see things. I couldn't imagine being a running back and having to make that decision in the moment. That's tough. 3rd and 8. It does look like this is going to be a passing situation. Spread them over the middle. Oh, no, incomplete. That was a good throw, but good defense. Good defense. Yeah, that was very good defense by Alabama. It looked like he had his left hand around the waist. That could have been pass interference, but I'm okay with the no call. So this is going to be a, what is this? Back out camera, so I see it. So this is going to be like a 41-yard attempt. Kansas State, it is up. Split the uprights right down the middle. Couldn't have been more perfect. Kansas State goes up 3-0. So Kansas State gets on the board first. Here you go, Kansas State fans. So the biggest question will be, can that Kansas State defense stifle the Alabama offense? Remember, Alabama's still a decent team, even though they're having a down year. They're still a dangerous team. They only lost to Tennessee by 1 possession on the road, and Tennessee was a really good team. And then, of course, they lost to LSU on the road as well, which I didn't buy into the LSU hype. Think of it this way. If you looked at last year, the 2 teams that beat Alabama, Tennessee and LSU, immediately when Tennessee beat Alabama, they became the #1 team. They were only #1 for 1 week, but because they beat Alabama, They were number 1. LSU beats Alabama, and they jumped through the rankings. I think the AP poll and the playoff rankings overvalued Alabama this year. I understand Alabama is Alabama and one of the greatest football programs of all time. Nick Saban, the best. I think he is the best head coach of all time in college football. Yes, I agree with all that. But this year, Alabama wasn't that good. So beating Alabama didn't mean that you were automatically an awesome team. It just means you beat a down Alabama. So that's the one thing that kind of got on my nerves about the whole Alabama situation whenever somebody beat them. Oh man, Tennessee must be they're going to win the national championship. They beat Alabama at home by 1 possession. LSU they beat Alabama in a close game at home. They must be a national championship contender. With 2 losses? No, they were not. The moment that LSU beat Alabama, everybody forgot about the Florida State loss and the blowout loss to Tennessee. That's what happened. They beat Alabama. All right, those losses don't count anymore. They are the number 5 team in the nation, and all they need is a few things to happen, and they're in the playoffs. What a joke. We have got to figure out a way to take the human element out as much as possible. And I do think that playoff expansion will help that in some form. Now, the 6 at-large bids, that's still going to be a human element. But the 6 automatic bids by the top conference champions, I like it. So you're going to have all the Power 5 champions plus the highest-ranked Group of 5 champion. So you're probably looking at either the champion of the Sun Belt, Mountain West, or the AAC. I still don't think the MAC will ever get in, and I still don't think that Conference USA. My gosh, they're a dumpster fire right now. Champions of those 2 conferences, I don't ever see them getting into the playoffs. So that helps with half, but you still have the at-large that definitely has the human element. Whenever they announced playoff expansion the first time, starting with the 4 teams, I thought that they were going to stick with the BCS formula and then just expand it to 4 instead of 2 teams, 4 teams. Why did they do that? Why did they come up with this stupid playoff committee who makes crazy decisions? The rankings don't make any sense. The BCS system worked whenever it came to rankings and putting the right teams in the national championship. All they needed to do was just expand it. That's it. Alabama with a decent run on first down. It's going to be 2nd and short. I actually had a video idea from a video that I made the other day talking about, and Nick Carparelli, the I think it's the chairman of the playoff or director of the playoff committee, whatever, or bowl season, excuse me, bowl season. Man, Bryce Young is not doing good right now. He just threw a lame duck that wasn't even close to his target. Something's not right with Bryce Young right now. Let me watch this replay and see. So three was running a go route, and for whatever reason, Bryce Young was through a curl or something. They're not communicating or something very well. But anyways, so in the video, I explained how the playoff or bowl season director said they're thinking about raising the eligibility record from 6-6 to 7-5. So you have to get set. So you have to finish the season 7-5 to get eligible, and then use 6-6 teams to fill spots that don't get filled, kind of like what they do with 5 and 7. Oh, completion for Bryce Young down to about midfield. The first decent play by the Alabama offense. But anyways, with the bowl season, they're thinking about raising the eligibility record from 6-6 to 7-5, and that would get rid of roughly 10 bowls, right? And with the playoff expansion, yes, they will include the highest ranked Group of 5 champion, but that's it. No other Group of 5 teams will get in that large bid. No other Group of 5 champions will probably ever make the playoffs. So my suggestion, and I will make a video on this. My suggestion is yes, do all that. Raise the record to where you have to finish 7-5 to get to a bowl. Get rid of those 10 bowls, but designate those 10 bowls for the group of 5 playoffs. The group of 5 conferences. Big time sack by Kansas State, by the way. They lost a ton of yardage. Alabama lost a ton of yardage. The group of 5s need their own playoffs. And I understand, they now have a shot every year to get in the playoffs, the highest ranked champion. But what about the rest of them? They need something to play for. So, yes, raise that limit to 7-5. Get rid of those 10 bowls for Power 5 bowls. And instead of taking bowls away from group of 5 teams, because let's face it, those lower bowls, you're basically taking them away from a bunch of group of 5 teams. You're punishing them. So instead of punishing them like that, take those bowls, create their own group of 5 playoffs, and you're really not losing bowls. You're just designating them for something else. So you take those 10 bowls and you just make them the playoffs for the group of 5 conference. Listen, I think I need to be on the bowl season committee, playoff committee. I have a lot of great ideas that I think could work. I really do. I really do. Some of them, I'm wondering, why have they not done this? I mean, almost targeting on Alabama. Uh-oh. No. That might have been a blindside hit. Sorry, I had the volume down because I don't want to get this stream taken down. Blindside hit's what it's going to be. I don't want to get the stream taken down because I have fun doing this. And I make a living doing this. So anyways, I was trying to figure out what signal was it. That's targeting. That's blindside hit. Yesterday actually was the first time that I saw that symbol used for a penalty. So I'm still trying to burn that into my brain. So what do y'all think about that? So the director of the bowl season says, yes, we're thinking about raising the record from 6 to 6, 7-5. That would basically get rid of 10 bowls. I'm good with that, but let's take it a step forward. Instead of actually doing away with those 10 bowls altogether, you're basically punishing the group of 5 teams because most of those bowls will be occupied by a group of 5s. Take those 10 bowls, create a group of 5 playoffs. This is how my thought process works. This is how I come up with videos. Y'all literally just witnessed an idea hatch from my brain as far as doing a video. There you go, guys. I did not know that. Who is that? What blanket? I didn't know that. Most teams with consecutive winning seasons. Boise State, number 1 with 25. Wisconsin, number 2 with 21. Oklahoma State, number 3 with 17. Alabama, number 4 with 15. That's surprising. Oklahoma State didn't surprise me because I actually looked that up last year whenever I was looking up coaching records. I was surprised at how long Mike Gundy has been at Oklahoma State. He's been there over 20 years. That's crazy. And they've had a winning season, like he just stated. 17 straight years. That's more than Alabama. Having said that, and same thing with Wisconsin, I think Oklahoma State is in the same boat as Wisconsin, and those two actually played each other. I think it was time for Wisconsin to move on from Paul Chryst, and they got Luke Fickell. Great hire, home run hire. Is it another video idea popping up in my head, guys? I'm telling you, this is how my brain works. Is it time for Mike Gundy to move on from Oklahoma State, or the other way around? Is it time for Oklahoma State to move on from Mike Gundy? Well, why would they do that? 17 straight winning season. Well, look at Wisconsin. Same thing, 21 straight winning seasons. The problem is they're kind of stuck in the middle of the road spinning their wheels. So I think that Oklahoma State needs to do the same exact thing that Wisconsin did. Time to move on from Mike Gundy. It's not that you're not grateful. It's Oklahoma State is stuck in the middle with Mike Gundy. Now, that could be a terrible move because who knows? Maybe the coach that you bring in, you go backwards. I mean, look at West Virginia. Yes, it was 100% time for West Virginia to move on from Neil Brown. It was, but we brought in a coach that was actually worse. So you have to be careful with that. Make sure you have a decent coach in mind that's ready to sign on the dotted line before you fire him, because you don't want to make a bad hire and actually go backwards. So just keep that in mind. But I'm glad you put up that comment, Wet Blanket, because I do think that Oklahoma State is in the same exact position that Wisconsin was. Wisconsin made the decision. Wisconsin had more consecutive winning seasons when they fired Paul Chryst. So it's not just about having winning seasons, it's getting better. Oh, big run, Deuce Vaughn, big run. This might go to the house. This might go to the house. They got an angle. They got an angle. They got an angle. Touchdown. Wow. Wow. Big run. What did I tell y'all? Stick with the run game. Oh yeah, that happened to that happened to Uncle Lou yesterday as far as using my audio. But whoever's watching that channel, why don't you actually come over to Golden Bluetooth and watch it over here? These scammers, they don't put any work into what they do. They just, they show the game and they show audio from another channel, and that's lazy. Why do you want to watch a lazy channel? So that's just my 2 cents. If you're gonna get the audio, why don't you actually go to the channel with the guy that's actually using his mouth for that audio? That's just me. But yeah, the same thing happened to Uncle Lou yesterday, and the scammer that was scamming Uncle Lou's audio got up to, like, I don't know, what, 15,000 viewers, something like that. They got really, really high up there. I don't understand. That kind of baffles me too, because why would you want to watch a channel that's clipping audio from another channel? Why would you want to watch that channel? If you're enjoying the audio and commentary of the voice, why wouldn't you go to the actual channel? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But to each his own. I will say this, Joey. Wait, I know we want to report this, and we will. If this is going on, scammer, we're going to. But let's hold off on that for a little bit. Let's see what happens. All right. You can use things to your advantage. So let's hold off for a little bit before we report that channel. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming. You are going to be reported. Massive, massive run by Deuce Vaughn, though. That was his speed is ridiculous. Exactly, Joey. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm actually telling people to hold off on reporting that channel. Don't do that quite yet. But I will say this: those of you that are on that other channel and are watching the game that they're showing, but listening to my voice, why don't you? Even if you want to go back to that channel and watch it there, that completely your choice, free country, all that. Just stop on by Golden Bluetooth and hit the subscribe button, and then if you want to go back, that's fine, no big deal. But we would greatly appreciate your support. We just hit 12,000 subscribers not too long ago. This was definitely our biggest year when it comes to subscriber gain. We more than doubled our subscriber count this year. We went from right around 4,000 at the beginning of 2022 to over 12,000 at the end of 2022. So this was definitely our biggest year, and we gotta kick it up a notch for 2023 as well. So we're expecting a bigger year this year. Let's see. Colby says he's gonna go over there and spam. Hey man, have fun. If you go over there and spam, just make sure to tell people where they're getting this audio from. Everybody that's listening to the channel that's spamming my channel and has this audio that you're listening to is actually coming from the college football YouTube channel, Gold and Blue Dude. So if you haven't said, oh, big play by Alabama, big play. They just answered. It's not going to be a touchdown, but they just answered Kansas State. But anyways, if you're listening to the audio of this, might as well check out the real deal over here at Gold and Blue Dude. Hold on a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Score is still 10-0 Kansas State, but it's 3rd and goal for Alabama. Kansas State has a really good red zone defense. I will say that. So they're not going to make this easy. Just ask TCU. They had it down on the 1 yard line. Had 2 plays to get in, and they couldn't do it. So it's 3rd and goal for Alabama down on the Kansas State 6 yard line. Let's see what type of play they call with this one. Bryce Young back to pass. A lot of time. He has a lot of time. A lot of time. Maybe too much time. Yeah, touchdown. That was way too much time. When you start getting past 5 seconds, somebody's going to get open. I don't care how good your secondary is. You're not going to be able to cover a wide receiver for more than 5 seconds. So that defensive line has got to do better. Oh, I see what happened. They ran a 3-down line. Why did Kansas State do that? I don't understand that. Why did they just run a 3-down? Especially in the red zone. Why would you just run a 3-down? That doesn't make any sense at all. Not at all. So Alabama takes advantage. The score is now Kansas State 10, Alabama 7. So it looks like we're going to have another good ball game. Welcome back, Colby. Did you have fun over there spamming? Have fun over there spamming. Which, by the way, if you want to, you can put the name of the channel in the comments section, and you know, everybody that's watching here, y'all can go over there and spam them or tell them about going blue, whatever. Hey, you got to make lemonade out of lemons, right? You got to use things to your advantage. So let's use this to our advantage, guys. Spammed it. What is the name of that channel? MSU Detroit fan, man. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Earlier I was telling everybody about how this is a really good time to join Patreon, because I've looked at a lot of YouTube channels' Patreon page, and I haven't, and this isn't me. Oh, that was big time kick coverage by Alabama. Why Kansas? Man, that was not a good move by Kansas State. But anyways, for my Patreon page, I've I watch other YouTube channels. I check them out. I check out their Patreon page, all that stuff. And I have not seen another YouTube channel that has a Patreon page that has as many contests as we have. I've seen, a little one here, a little one there, but as far as sheer volume and the amount of money that we award people, nobody touches Gold and Blue Dude. And that's not going to stop in the off season. So even though the regular season is done and the score prediction contest is over, championship week is done, and that's over with as well. Deuce Vaughn stopped at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd out of 10. We're in the middle of the bowl prediction contest. That's going to be over with, but it's not going to stop there. Every month we will draw, and I will pay Patreon's membership for a month. every single month guaranteed. And if I pull a $2 Patreon with the first drawing, I'm going to keep going until I at least hit $10. So every month I will pay at least $10 worth of a Patreon's membership for that month. But the biggest, look, this contest that's coming up, and I just got it cooking today. I thought about it today. Even if you're not a college basketball fan, the contest itself is worth joining Patreon. Even if you only join Patreon, for a couple months, that's fine. I understand. I understand that. This contest will be our biggest. Promise you. It is the bracket contest, and what we'll do is whenever brackets come out, whoever has the most wins as far as picking the winner of each matchup in the big dance, the NCAA tournament for college basketball, we're going to have a big prize. It's going to be our biggest prize. We're not going to report them yet. We're using it to our advantage. We're actually promoting ourselves while they're spamming us. We're promoting ourselves. So let's we will report them. We will. But right now, Joey, make sure this. Joey, I don't know if I remembered to monetize this before I went live. Can you go back and double check on that, Joey? Dang it. It's been a very long time before I forgot to do that, but I think I did. So the prize for the bowl prediction contest was $50. Second place prize was flat bill autographed on Bluetooth hats, and then third prize was a shout out on the channel. This is not set in stone, but I'm thinking about doing at least $100 prize for March Madness contest. I think we can do that. Me and Joe will talk about it. We'll nail it down. At minimum, we'll do another $50 prize for the winner, but I think we need to go above that because that's a big event. And we'll figure out other contests we can do throughout. We keep the winning coming because we appreciate the support. Joey, yes. I'll make sure to wish Joey a happy belated birthday. I know he had a pretty good day with his wife, Yvette. This seems like a really long commercial break for the Sugar Bowl. Let's check out the Music City Bowl real quick. Y'all know how I feel about commercials. Don't like them. Did Iowa just score? Yep, Iowa just scored. I think this is going to be a long game for Kentucky. Will Levis is not playing. Iowa's defense is legit, and their offense is looking better. Yeah, I think Kentucky. Sorry, Hillbilly Skeptic. I apologize, man. I know that's tough to hear, but I don't think this is going to be a very good game for. Oh, did he step out of bounds at the one? I think he might have stepped out of bounds right. No, maybe not. I think he was actually inbounds. Yeah, I think that's a touchdown. That would be that. Let's go back to the Sugar Bowl. Just in time for Alabama to kick off. No, excuse me. 3rd and 8 for Kansas State. If they don't get a first down here, this could be a bad start for Kansas State. Yep, no conversion. That's the one problem with Kansas State. When you force them into passing situations, it's not good. It's not good. So Kansas State needs to go back to establishing the line and moving that defensive line. And that was good protection on the quarterback right there. It's just for whatever reason he's not very good at making decisions when that first read isn't there. He's not good at progression. That's how I put it. Kansas State quarterback is not good at progression. What about yesterday? A lot of great ball game. Really, the only letdown ball would have been the Orange Bowl. That was the only ball that was really a letdown ball. All the balls other than that they were all really, really good. Sun Bowl, Pitt kicks basically a last-second field goal to beat UCLA. I thought UCLA was going to destroy Pitt, and it looked like they were on their way to destroy Pitt, but Pitt fought back. They fought back. And they beat them last second field goal. What was that other one? Oh, South Carolina, Notre Dame. Great game. So Buckner, the quarterback for Notre Dame, he threw 2 pick sixes, and Notre Dame still beat South Carolina by a touchdown. That's how good of a game that was. The game between Ohio and Wyoming, not very many people care about those two teams. That went to overtime. And I think Ohio beat Wyoming, actually. Wyoming was a good football team out of the Mountain West. Alabama trying to grab the edge. They're only going to get about a yard or two. So that was a good ball game. There was one more ball. What was the other one? Oh, NC State, Maryland. I mean, it was a close game, but I don't think it was a good game. Very, very boring. So what do y'all think about that idea that I put out earlier? Playoff director or bowl season director talking about raising up the record from 6-6 to 7-5. The consequence or the effect of that would be 10 bowls would be done away with. My idea is instead of just getting rid of those 10 bowls, you give those 10 bowls to the group of 5, first down Alabama, by the way, and let them have their own playoffs. That's my idea. I like it. I'm sticking to it. John Waffle H2P, thank you for the $4.99 donation, says, I think it's disrespectful that they made the Sugar Bowl an annual appetizer New Year's Six game before the playoffs when it has been played on New Year's Day or the day after. They did that with a lot of bowls, actually. Even the playoff bowls, Fiesta Bowl and Peach Bowl, those used to be New Year's Day bowls. The Rose Bowl, they've agreed to not necessarily have to play on New Year's Day so that they can stay in the college football playoff rotation. I don't understand it. Why does the college football playoffs and the New Year's Six bowls have such a big problem with New Year's Day? I'm sure there's an actual explanation and an actual reason. I just don't know it. I don't know the reason for that. So somebody please explain it to me, because yes, that is a significant tradition. Bowls on New Year's Day, the big bowls. Alabama, big shot. Down to about the 2. Roll Tide about to take the lead on Kansas State. Uh-oh. Wrong one. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $5 donation, says, would your plan prevent Group of 5 schools from getting bigger bowls? Absolutely not. I would still allow, of course, the highest ranked Group of 5 champion the ability to make the playoffs, but I would give them the option of declining it if they desire. I don't think that would ever happen. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that a Group of 5 team would deny that just to play in the Group of 5 playoffs because they would have a better chance of winning a national championship. But I would give them the option. In fact, those playoff games would actually be bigger bowls than the bowls that they would be playing in anyways, because they would be playoff bowls. So I think it would actually raise the significance of those, quote, lower bowls. So, like, this is just, for example, touchdown Alabama, by the way, just take the lead. So, for example, we'll say the Myrtle Beach Bowl. The Myrtle Beach Bowl this year was between UConn and Marshall, right? So, lower bowl, but Marshall had a good year, so it was a good ending to a good year. Under my plan, that would be 10 bowls that would go to the playoffs for the Group of 5. So for Marshall, instead of making the Myrtle Beach Bowl and playing UConn just for a bowl, let's say they make the playoffs and they play in the Myrtle Beach Bowl for the first round of the Group of 5 playoffs. That's how I would do it. Michael Man Jason, Michigan Man Jason, I've been doing pretty well. Very, very busy. We're going down the home stretch of the ending to the college football season, so it is a very busy. I've actually been doing like 3 and 4 regular videos during the day. That's how busy we've been around here. So good. Busy is good. Busy is progress. That's what I've always mentality. My work ethic. That's what it's been. Quick reminder: anybody over there on the Scammer channel that is watching the Sugar Bowl, but the audio, who is this talking? I can't place the voice. Well, you're listening to Golden Bluetooth. They actually stole my audio from my live show, and they're putting it on their channel. So when you get a chance, why don't you jump on over to the real thing, Golden Bluetooth. We do college football videos every single day. Live shows, well, here recently, not very many because my laptop went down, but usually live shows every day. We'll get back to that once my laptop is fixed. So come check us out, and you can put a face to the voice. You'll actually know what the face of the voice looks like. And try before. How about this? Before you come over here to Golden Bluetooth, try to picture what I look like before you actually come over and check out the channel. And then when you come over, see how far off you were, or if you hit the nail on the head. How about that? We'll play the game of match the voice to the face. So you hear my voice over there on this camera channel. Come check out Golden Blue and see if the voice matched the face that you were imagining in your head. How about that? Honestly think that Michigan doesn't have that much to worry about. Michigan man, Jordan. Jason, excuse me. This is a completely different year for Michigan. Completely different set of circumstances. Much better team. You're not in the same situation as last year where you were going up against a historically great team in Georgia. Georgia absolutely blasted everybody except for Alabama in the SEC championship. But you already know my opinion on that. This year, you're better than what you were last year, and you're playing a team that's nowhere near as, no offense to TCU fans, that's nowhere near as good as what Georgia was last year. So those of you just now joining Golden Bluetooth, if you're coming from the Scammer channel, did the face match the voice? That is my question. If you're over there on the Scammer channel, come check out the real deal over here at Golden Blue and see if the face meets or matches the voice. Alabama just scored, by the way, 14-10 over Kansas State. Oh, muffed kick, and that's gonna. Wait, was he down? What happened? Well, I had the volume turned down, so I don't know what happened. Did he call a fair catch? Somebody explain that to me. Was that a fair catch ruling or something? I don't know. There's a flag of some sort. What was that flag, guys? Yeah, a lot of those New Year's Six Bowls were played on New Year's Day. So a lot of things getting messed up as far as tradition and stuff like that. But the new generation isn't going to know anything about that. What we're talking, what's the big deal about New Year's Day and bowls? They don't get that. Was that on Kansas State? Are they on their 1 yard line? No, that's a re-kick. That was a penalty on Alabama. Was that fair catch interference? Is that what they said, guys? Fair catch interference? Now they got to kick off on their own 30. This is going to be much better field position, maybe. And he fair caught that one. What in the world? He had like 20 yards of space in front of him, and he fair caught it. But then the other times, whenever they were right on him, he tries to run it out. And oh, man. Alabama's sixth most penalized team in the nation. That's surprising. That is not a Nick Saban disciplined team. So one of the many reasons why Alabama is having, quote, a down year. But still 10-win season. That's not bad. I wish I had a team where they had a down year and still had 10 wins. Deuce Vaughn. Oh, was that Deuce Vaughn? I don't think that was Deuce Vaughn. No, that wasn't Deuce Vaughn. That was who's the other running back? Kansas State. No, that is Deuce Vaughn. Excuse me. I thought Deuce Vaughn was a different number. That was Deuce Vaughn. Anyways, All right, so Kansas State, going back to basics, running the ball 2nd and 8. Running a little bit of an option, quarterback to the outside. It did work almost a first down. Kansas State's going to be about 1 yard short of the marker. So it looks like this game, another ball is going to be a ball of momentum switches. A lot of momentum switches. So Kansas State had the momentum. They went out 10-0. Alabama has answered with 2 touchdowns unanswered. Now they have the momentum. Can Kansas State get the momentum back? Can they get it back? They got a first down. Whoa, they got a first down. What? I thought he was short. Did they run another play that I missed? I thought he was short. Anyways, 1st and 10, Kansas State, ball on their own 35-yard line. They got another run play to the outside. Deuce Vaughn cuts it in just a little bit. Hey, at least they're calling the game the way they need to. Run the ball. Short passes, yes, but don't take chances and try to throw it down the field. There you go. There's the link to the channel that is using my voice. Go tell them what's up. I mean, why are you watching? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out why you would watch another channel that's using a different channel's audio. Why don't you just check this channel out? Hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it, whatever. And just come check us out and see if the voice matches the face. Playing a game here. Does the voice match the face? Did you hit the nail on the head, or were you off by a country mile? VicTube says, if both teams were at full strength, Kentucky would be winning. You might be right, but that's the story of bowl season. If West Virginia would have been at full strength in 2018 without Will Grier and David Seals and a bunch of defensive players sitting out, they would have won their bowl game. So there's nothing you can do about that. It is what it is. I will say this: Pitt had a lot of starters set out their bowl game yesterday, and they beat a really good UCLA team, a UCLA that I thought should have beat Pitt convincingly. So we got to get rid of that excuse. That happens to everybody. Nobody's going to be at full strength. I highly doubt that Iowa's at full strength. So it's just who's going to win the ball with the players that you got. You got to roll with it. By the way, shout out to John Waffle and Hillbilly Skeptic. Appreciate you guys for hitting that super chat button and supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. All right, let's. Somebody said Iowa picked 6th Kentucky earlier, so I'm just checking the score of that game real quick. Of course, commercials. I hate commercials. If Ohio State had a D-line, they had a chance. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, if they allow the big plays like they did against Michigan, then that game will be over by halftime. I actually think that Ohio State and Georgia is going to be a close game. I really do. I don't think that we're going to see a bunch of 50-yard touchdown and running passing touchdowns and running touchdowns like we did with Michigan. I think it's going to be closer. I still have Georgia winning the game, but I think it's going to be closer. And that's not me saying that I think Ohio State deserves to be in the playoffs, because I don't. They didn't even win their division. I think teams that should have got in over Ohio State, USC. I know they lost again to Utah in the Pac-12 championship. But in the regular season, they only lost by 1 point on the road. And then Caleb Williams was severely injured in the Pac-12 championship. But they got to their conference championship. Clemson, I know they just got obliterated by Tennessee, but they won their conference championship. Let's see, who else? Kansas State, right here. They won the Big 12. A lot of great options over Ohio State. I just don't think that they earned their way in. If you can't win your division, you have no business being in the playoffs. And that's even if they go on to win the national championship. It is very possible that Ohio State pulls a 2017 Alabama and wins the whole daggum thing. That is possible, But that doesn't change the fact that they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Just like in 2017, Alabama didn't earn their way into the playoffs. They got hot, won the national championship. Same thing could happen to Ohio State. What I missed? Who got blocked? Something got blocked? Did you get, John, did you get blocked on somebody else's channel? What did you do, man? Give us the rundown, man. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $5 donation. Says, I understand next man up and all, but it's hard to get up for a game. You could only win with a miracle. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So it's probably they're probably the mindset of just starting to prepare for next year because they know that. So I mean, it is what it is, and I understand that. West Virginia was in the same mindset last year whenever we got matched up against Minnesota. Whenever I did what was it, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, even in my predictions, I'm a West Virginia fan through and through. I support West Virginia. Sometimes I do overhype them, yes. But whenever I saw that matchup against Minnesota, I was telling West Virginia fans, abandon hope. This is a bad matchup. We will get beat convincingly. Our weaknesses played right into their strengths. It was just a terrible matchup. So it happens, and I understand it. That's exactly what happened to West Virginia. Kentucky does have the ball back, but Iowa is up 14-0, and with Iowa's defense, 14-0 is like being down 28-0 by a regular team because their defense is just that good. Looks like Joey got blocked over at the. Hey, let's rotate. Let's rotate subscribers and viewers. If you haven't, leave the link to the channel that's leaving my or that's using my voice clip. Whoever has the link to that, put it in the comment section. I know people are getting blocked, but let's rotate people in there and just spam the heck out of them until you get blocked. Let's use this to our advantage. And those of you that are listening to Golden Bluted over there, at least come check it out and see if the voice matches the face. All right, at least do that. And well, while you're over here, you might as well hit the subscribe button because this is what we do here every single day. Let's college football all the time, even the off season. I promise you, I figure out something to talk about every single day. I don't take a day off. I don't. My question is, what if I hit mute and don't even talk for like 5 minutes? What do they do then? Do they try to get somebody else's voice clip? Just a thought. Just a thought, guys. Just a thought. It's going to win the ACC next year. Okay. It's not a terrible prediction. Although, as good as North Carolina was this year, I think they can be even better as long as they don't lose Drake May, which so far they're not. There was reports that he entered the transfer portal, but he disputed that and said, no, that's not true. I think North Carolina could win the well, no, actually, I think the ACC is going without divisions next year. So I think the second place team could be North Carolina, and I think Clemson will be. I actually think Clemson will be better than what they were this year. So I expect Clemson to be an ACC championship again. I think Cade Klubnik is a better quarterback than DJ Uiagalelei. The biggest questions will be the defense. Clemson's defense, will it take a step back because they are losing some production on the defensive side of the ball. All right, so let's see. Is Kentucky moving the ball? They did get a first down. They're now at their own 35. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe Kentucky can score here and pulled it within a touchdown. Quarterback flushed out. He's going to take a sack. Bad decision. Right when I said that. Sorry, Kentucky fans. Not looking good. Not looking good. Oh, Kansas State just had a decent play. They're down on the Alabama 40. They're on a 7-play, 4-minute drive right now. This should be their game plan. They shouldn't be trying to quick strike Alabama. Their game plan should be move the chains, run the ball, wear the defense out, keep it on the field as long as possible. What kind of throw was that? He almost threw it right to the defender. What are you doing, man? Why is Kansas State throwing on first down? Why are they acting like they're already desperate? That doesn't make any sense. My gosh, there's 7.5 minutes left in the first half. You're out there acting like it's time to panic. They're calling stupid plays that you shouldn't be calling. Your strength is running the ball, slowing the game down, moving the chains, and wearing out the defense. And on first down, you call a slant route that's not your strength, and now the quarterback gets injured. This is what happens. One bad play call can ruin an entire drive, and that's what's happened just now. Chris Kleiman did it again. One bad play call is ruining this drive again. What are you? And he's a good coach. He really is. He's a good coach, but I'm not understanding. I mean, maybe it's on the offensive coordinator. I don't know, but the coach needs to have a talk with him at halftime and say, "What are you doing, calling a play like that on first down?" Kansas State, though, that's a nice throw right there. That's going to be close to a first down. So that's Colin Klein, actually. So I think it's his son. So they might be having a family meeting at halftime. Nice play right there. This is going to be 4th and 1. I think Kansas State's actually going to go for it right here. I would. This is kind of no man's land. A field goal would be about a 50-yarder from here, something like that. You're definitely not going to punt right here. You're not giving them great field position. Great out route. Okay, that was a good play call right there. Good play call. Good play call, Kansas State. You didn't do anything fancy. You're making up for a stupid play call that you did earlier. So, okay, I can work with that. I can work with that. Kansas State moving the chains. They're down to about the Alabama 25. So they can score right here. Maybe that would switch the momentum back to Alabama. This is definitely a game of runs and momentum so far. What terrible read by the quarterback. And once again, the play call makes no sense. First down, they're calling a touchdown shot. And, of course, it's incomplete. So it looks like they're going to have a couple of brilliant play calls to make up for another bad play call. All right, 2nd and 10 for Kansas State. Ball still on the Alabama 25. They run the ball on this play, but now they're behind the chains trying to make up yardage, and Deuce Vaughn goes for 1. I'm not understanding the succession of these play calls. It doesn't make any sense at all. So you throw a touchdown go route on first down, and then you run a conservative, basically a draw. It might not have been an actual draw, but basically a draw on 2nd and long. And now you're looking at 3rd and 8 again. What are we doing, Kansas State? You're shooting yourselves in the foot. And they're going to run a sweep on 3rd down and not get the first down. Well, at least it's more of a manageable field goal. But these play calls on offense, I am not. So pass on first down and then run on 2nd and 3rd down. Yeah, somebody please make that make sense for me, please. I actually don't think Kansas State should go for it on this one. This is 4th and 3 or 4. They're going to go for it, though. I'm not too sure about this. Maybe they're going to try to get Alabama offsides or something. Not sure. Run some clock while doing so. Yeah, it does look like they're trying to draw Alabama off. Play clock down to 6-5. Run them in. They're running the play. But good play call. There you go. They made up for it again. Touchdown. Not touchdown. First down, Kansas State. This is a crazy. Wow. This is a crazy drive by Kansas State. Because, make no mistake about it, the offensive coordinator is calling some terrible plays on first down. But they went for it twice on 4th down and got it. So they've made up for those bad play calls. But, man. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Using my voice clip. But if Golden Blue Dude goes into that channel and says, hey, go check out Golden Blue Dude and sub him up, he gets blocked. You get blocked from your own voice clip, from the channel that's using your own voice clip. That's awesome. Whoever you are, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Yeah, block the guy whose voice you're using. Genius. Genius. But you know what? I can use my own voice to troll you. I can say, come check out the channel that's actually talking, the voice that you're actually hearing. Golden Blue Dude, come check us out. So I can do that all day long. You can't block my voice because you're literally using my voice. Once again, Kansas State, questionable play calling. They lose a little bit. It's going to be 2nd and goal. SEC football says, I heard your voice that had 7,000 viewers. Yeah. The problem that we're having as far as my stream goes is YouTube is not recommending this live for whatever reason. If it was recommending like it's supposed to, we'd have a significant audience. I mean, we're already over 12,000 subscribers. It's growing like crazy this year. So we really would appreciate YouTube doing their job. We do our job. Now we need you to do your job. It would help us out. We greatly appreciate that. 3rd and goal for Kansas State. So we are having some people from the scammer channel that are listening to my voice actually coming over to Golden Blue Dude to check the actual channel out. So this could actually be a blessing in disguise. Now, I don't like laziness, and that's what this scammer channel is doing. They're lazy because they're using my voice clip, but, whatever. I don't like that. But everything you can use to your advantage. 4th and goal. Well, Kansas State, you might as well go for it again because you had chances to kick the field goal earlier, and you went for it on 4th down. Now you're very close to a touchdown. Yes, a field goal would be a sure thing. Sure, why not? Looks like Kansas State is going for it again. Let's go. Here we go. Yeah, I would have kicked it on the first 4th down. But they're not. They're going for it. They're going for a boot too. Terrible throw. Terrible throw. Incomplete. All that for nothing, Kansas State. The bad play calling finally bit you in the rear end. All right, see you later, Michigan man, Jason. Appreciate you for stopping by. I totally get you got to prepare to watch that game mentally and physically, as far as with the food and drinks and all that. I completely understand. I think you got this though. I think Michigan has this. Nobody 127 years ago says with your voice. I must have missed a comment he said earlier. Stream this channel. Oh, yeah. We know about the other channel that's streaming with my voice. That happened to Uncle Lee yesterday. Hey, if anything, that tells you that the channel's getting bigger. So I actually take that as a compliment. So thank you, Scammer Channel. I appreciate that. You're telling me that my channel is starting. Maybe it's not all the way there yet, but starting to get relevant. We're over 12,000 subscribers. Had a great year this year. More than doubled our subscribers this year. So appreciate you. Let's see. Appreciate you validizing Golden Blue. Yes, we are officially almost relevant. Oh man, commercials. I hate commercials. Let's check out the Music City Bowl. Oh, by the way, does this mess up your stream over there whenever I'm checking out the Music City Bowl as well? Because I know you're focused on the Sugar Bowl, but I don't like commercials, so I check out the Music City Bowl sometimes when the commercials are going on the Sugar Bowl. And Kentucky is in a bad spot right now. About 2 minutes left in the first half. They're down 14-0. They do have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. They are not in a good situation. If Kentucky comes out of this drive with a field goal, that would be a massive, massive win for Kentucky. What are those polls about, by the way, Joey? I see you in the comment section talking about polls that you have out, but what are they about? Lorenzo D228 says, congrats on making 10,000 subs this year. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. It just proves that hard work pays off. Doesn't mean that I'm special or anything like that. It just means that people have connected with Golden Blued, and hard work pays off. I'm telling you. If I can hit, hey, listen, anybody out there listening to my voice, whether you're on Golden Blued or if you're on the Scammer channel, it doesn't matter. If you're listening to my voice, I'm telling you, if I can hit 10,000 subscribers, anybody can hit 10,000 subscribers. Just put the work in. That's what it comes down to. Jake, listen to this. Jacob Cunningham says, bro, the people over there complaining about you talking, telling you to hush, LMAO, it's so funny. You know there's a volume down button. If I'm talking too much, you can turn the volume down and still watch the channel. There is that option. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. Maybe you weren't. I don't know. That's really neither here nor there. But it is available. It is available. If I'm talking too much, turn the volume down. That's just my advice. I always talk too much. That's part of my personality. Okay? No, I don't have a Tennessee helmet yet. That would be awesome. Joey put in the P.O. box in the comment section. Some of the bigger fan bases that we have I think we have over 50 mini helmets represented for fan bases, but some of the bigger fan bases that we still don't have a helmet for, that I'm actually kind of surprised. Tennessee, I'm surprised we don't have a Tennessee yet. Nebraska is one of the bigger ones that we still don't have. I would say Florida is one. South Carolina kind of surprises me because we have a lot of South Carolina fans. Georgia, we still don't have a Georgia mini helmet, so I'm pretty sure we'll get a Georgia mini helmet, especially if Georgia wins back-to-back national championships. Pretty sure that will happen. Kinsey Hunt says, who is your pick, Georgia or Ohio State? I have Georgia, but I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like a lot of people think. I really don't. There's the P.O. box. We just had Hillbilly Skeptic. He sent Kentucky mini helmet the other day. So, Kentucky, you're covered. You are covered. Before that, we had a Texas. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up. But now Texas is covered. That's right. On a West Virginia fan-based YouTube channel, Texas is covered. And it's not turned upside down. I didn't turn the helmet upside down. And we have Pitt. I don't feel like getting it. But we also have Pitt. Yeah, that's right. I don't disrespect like that. Now, I'll trash talk and all that stuff. But I respect my subscribers whenever they send something in for my background. And don't worry, those of you that haven't sent any mini helmets, but you've sent something else, we'll put that out as well. Alabama first down and a lot more. That's like a 20-yard run. So they're trying to get in field goal range right before halftime, maybe even score. Nick Saban is not done. It looks like Alabama has really got their energy now. The momentum is squarely on Alabama right now. So Kansas State better get it together, or this could get out of hand. This could get out of hand. Go to Blue. Do you think Tennessee is turning the corner and headed in the right direction? I said that last year. Absolutely. And getting Hendon Hooker was such a blessing for Tennessee because Joe Milton went down with an injury. But we saw in the Orange Bowl game, he didn't play as good as what Hendon Hooker did in the regular season. But Tennessee is in good hands, and Jeremy Pruitt is a really good head coach. I think Tennessee finally found the right head coach. I really do. I don't think you're going to win the SEC this next year, and you might. I haven't looked at Tennessee's schedule, so I don't have an actual prediction for it yet. Depending on the schedule, you might end up taking a slight step back, going 9-3. But even if that does happen, don't worry, you're still building something. Another first down for Alabama. They're really trying to get in field goal range right before halftime. So looks like Alabama is really pushing the pace right now. Jacob Cunningham says the scammers suck. Hold on. The scammers suck, do bad because the audio they are stealing is ahead of their stream. So now they're complaining about you spoiling the game. LMAO, the best ever. Hey, y'all, that channel's the one that stole my audio. I can't help that I'm ahead of y'all's stream. That just tells you how lazy they were. They couldn't even link it up correctly. I'm ahead. I'm going to spoil it all day long and complain about my talking. I don't care. I talk too much all the time. It's just part of who I am. Sorry, not sorry. But Alabama definitely has the momentum right now, and they're looking for more. SEC football says, I got timed out for saying you're stealing your audio, LOL. Yeah, they don't want to hear the truth. They just want to think that they're smart, but whenever somebody says stealing, they don't want to think about that part. No, we're just being smart. No, you're stealing. But it's okay. We're trying to use it to our advantage. Those of you that are listening to my voice in the Scammer channel and you're annoyed with my voice, why don't you actually come check out Go to Bluetooth and see if the face matches the voice? Even if it's just for a second. Alabama going for a shot, didn't keep his foot in bounds. Was that a catch? I think it was. There you go. Spoiler. Catch. Nice catch. Hold on. Hopefully they do an instant replay and I can spoil that as well. Yes, he got his foot down. Yes, 100%, guys. It's not going to be reviewed, I don't think. He did get that foot down. There you go. All right. No, not reviewed. Taking another shot. Another first down, Alabama. So Alabama's down to the Kansas State 12-yard line. They're looking for a touchdown. Screw the field goal. They want to go up by 11. 25 seconds left. Alabama going at breakneck speed right now. 1st and 10, Kansas State 12. Not even using a timeout. Precious time ticking. They have 2 timeouts. Why would they not use a timeout? Was it a touchdown? Touchdown. That was close, though. Touchdown, Alabama. Touchdown, Alabama. Nice. Kansas State defender tried to pull that out for an interception. Are we watching a Kansas State collapse? The Kansas State defender even got there early and still couldn't stop it. I mean, in 45 seconds, it was less than a minute. It was like 50 seconds. Alabama marched, 90 yards in 50 seconds? That is insane. That is freaking insane. They didn't just push down on the gas. They slammed down on the gas. Maybe Alabama needs to do that more because that was well executed. They got into a really good rhythm. Kansas State had no answer for it. Nice job, Alabama. Nice job. Nice job. Jacob Cunningham is asking you a question about the Auburn helmet. I did not see that question. Let me see what he said. Golden Blue, did you get the Auburn helmet? I sent it like 2 weeks ago from Alabama. I did. Well, not yet, but let's see. This week's been kind of busy, so I haven't checked my mailbox in a couple of days. But still, it seemed like it should have been there. Well, we did have the blizzard, so you know what? I'll check the mail today after this live stream, and maybe it'll be in the mail then. Awesome. It's awesome to know that a mini helmet's on the way. I always love it. It's hard to explain. Like, it always brightens my day whenever I go to my P.O. box and I see that locker key. That basically tells me that somebody sent a mini helmet. I'm like, yes. And then the question is, who's it going to be this time? Sometimes I already know because people tell me, hey, I sent this. You know, it's coming on this day. But still, it's still a good feeling whenever I see that locker key mini helmet. And Kansas State kneels it down. They are ready for halftime. Alabama, 3 touchdowns unanswered. 3 straight touchdowns. Well, I don't know if they were straight. I think they didn't score here and there. But still, 3 unanswered touchdowns. 21-10 halftime. If you're a Kansas State fan, all I can say right now, yikes. Yikes. Your bread and butter, your defense just allowed a 90-yard touchdown drive in less than 50 seconds. That's not a good sign. Sancho says, so you don't have a Vols mini helmet. No, I do not. I do not have the Tennessee mini helmet just yet. I have Arkansas. So I'm guessing this is an SEC question. So I'll tell you who I do have in the SEC. I have Missouri. I have Arkansas. I have, let's see, who else do I have? I have LSU. I have Alabama. And Kentucky. So I really don't have that many SEC helmets. I have like 6. I think the conference that I have the most of is the Big 12, actually, where I have TCU, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma for now, Kansas State, Baylor, Iowa State, West Virginia, of course, Texas. Is that it? I think I already said TCU, Oklahoma State. So, yeah, that's it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 of the current Big 12 teams. The only Big 12 team in the current Big 12 that I don't have is Texas Tech. SEC football says, getting mad in there because you're spoiling. Hey, I said you could turn the volume down if you want to. I can't help that he hacked my audio and that I'm ahead. I can't help that. That's on y'all. If I'm ahead and it's annoying you, turn the volume down. Or you can come over here to Golden Blue Dude where it's on time. You can watch the visual on a separate screen or device or whatever, and then you'll have the audience in real time. I'm sorry that I'm ahead. Well, I'm not sorry. It is what it is. I'm watching the game and I'm talking about it. If you want to catch the audio in real time, all you have to do is jump over to Golden Blue Dude. That's it. Simple as that. No big deal. But I guess it's easier to whine at the other end. How would I even fix that? Should I wait? So if a play happens, should I wait like 30 seconds and then talk about the play? And then just talk from behind? I can't do that. Can't do that. That would be ridiculous. Taj Wilson said, found the real stream. There you go. That's right, real deal. Which, by the way, this was a great Christmas. So this was from my son's girlfriend's parents who we will be going over for New Year's to bring in the new year. This was a birthday present from them. How awesome is that? And it's got the gold and blued right there. GB dude. That is awesome. We need to do something like that in the merchandise store. And it wouldn't have to, for this right here, you can get the gold and blued right here, but it doesn't have to be West Virginia. You could get your Georgia sign, you could get your Michigan sign, whatever. Kit B says keep doing it. Yes, I'm not stopping. They can kiss my rear end and get over it. They can whine all they want. I am not going to stop talking. In fact, I might find a way to talk more. How about that? I'll talk about nonsense. I'll talk about the weather. I'll talk about my fingernails. I'll talk about wood flooring. I'll talk about dogs. I'll talk about taking down my Christmas tree. I'll talk about I want snow for this winter. Hopefully we get at least 5 or 6 inches. I'll talk about, let's see. I'll talk about the tornadoes I've been through. I'll talk about sometimes ceiling fans get on my nerves. I'll talk about how I need to clean my back porch off. I'll talk about how I need to wash my car. I'll talk about how I really want the Tennessee and Auburn mini helmet. That would be awesome. I'll talk about all the hoodies that I have, including the golden blued hoodie. I need a new hoodie because this one is worn out. I've worn this one out, so I need a new golden blued hoodie. I'll talk about my cats. I'll talk about using the bathroom. I'll talk about playing Monopoly. I'll talk about taking pictures. I'll talk about taking a nice long walk in the country. I will talk about whatever I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. So get mad. Tell me to shut up. Tell me that I'm getting on my nerves. I'll just make it worse on you. Appreciate you, Michael Gibbs. I do have a lot of great supporters, and I appreciate you guys. That's what I try to explain. I'm just the voice and face of the channel, but really, Golden Blue it's the subscribers. Without subscribers, you don't have a channel. So it's you guys that I appreciate. Joey says, now I'm getting on his nerves. Good, it's working. Hey, if I'm getting on your nerves, then I know for a fact that I'm getting on their nerves. Oh, okay. Shout out to my cats. So we have 2 cats that stay in our bedroom. Their name is Munch and Tip. And then there's another cat that's actually the kids that stays in their room. And that cat's name is Iris. We also have a guinea pig whose name is Pepe, because he's black and white. He looks like a skunk. And actually, my daughter got a snake this year. She got a ball python. It's going to grow to around 3 feet. No, it's not a big snake, but it's not poisonous. It's safe and all that stuff. She loves snakes, so we got her a ball python this year. And I don't know the name of it yet. I don't think she's named it. So there you go. Rob Mickle, is that pronouncing that right? Appreciate that. I will. I don't know if it's good work, but whatever I'm doing, I will keep doing it. Whether it's good work, bad work, indifferent work, I don't care. Whatever you want to call this, yes, I am going to keep doing it. Yes, Michael Gibbs says, Happy New Year to everybody. Let me make sure it's there. Have a great New Year, everyone. There you go. Yes, absolutely. A chance for a new beginning, a new year. This is the time of year where you have New Year's resolutions. I'm not really big on that, but I will say this. Last year was the only time that I made a New Year's resolution. And I'm trying to remember exactly how many subscribers. Before 2022, I know we had, 5,000 in April. So I think we had like 3,500 at the end of 2022. So my New Year's resolution was to get Golden Blue up to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're up over 12,000 subscribers, so we smashed that resolution. So that was pretty cool. I feel pretty fulfilled as far as meeting that goal. It's pretty cool. So shout out to everybody that hit the subscribe button, that made it happen. I can't subscribe to myself like that. It's people like you that subscribe to the channel that helps it grow. So shout out to everybody that's hit the subscribe button. Shout out to everybody that's watching, that's viewing. Shout out to all y'all over on the Scammer channel. Even though I'm getting on your nerves, you're still listening to me. Shout out to you. Even if you end up turning down the volume, still, I'll shut you out. Shout out to you. Because it's still, in the grand scheme of things, it still helps the channel. So it is what it is. You know, just is what it is. Georgia for the name of the snake. How about Kirby? How about we name the snake Kirby? Oh man, I like it. I like it. Honestly, don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but if it's a boy, Kirby's not a bad name, is it? Uh, isn't that the name of that one video game character, Kirby, where he sucks in air and spits things out, or sucks in things and spits things out? Isn't that Kirby? If you think about it, Kirby Smart kind of looks like that video game character. If you really look at him side by side, I never thought I might do a video on that. Same person hacked Uncle Lou last night. Yeah, we were actually me and Joey were talking about that yesterday. They did that to Uncle Lou last night. I'm not really mad about it. You know, I just use it to my advantage. You know, I just tell people, hey, if you're listening to me on the Scammer channel and you don't know the voice is, come over to Golden Blue Dude and see if the voice matches the face that you were thinking of in your head, or if you were surprised, or if it's like, that's about right. But what's hilarious is what people in the comments section over here were saying about them getting mad, how I'm spoiling it because they're behind on the well, not on the audio because I am on the video part. They're behind, and I'm spoiling the place. I'm talking too much. Blah. Now that's hilarious. That is funny. Hillbilly Skeptic says Cuber. Is that a name suggestion for the snake? A little bit confused on that one. So if Kansas State loses this football game, and it looks like they're going to, it's halftime. There's a lot of game to be played. But if they lose this football game, then the Big 12 will drop to 1-6. Then the only bowl game remaining will be the playoffs, Fiesta Bowl, TCU, Michigan. I just don't have a lot of faith that TCU is going to pull off that win. I actually think Michigan will win comfortably. Michigan is now my pick to win the national championship. I think they're much more prepared than what they were last year. It's not a matchup nightmare like it was last year when they played Georgia in the first round. They're not running up a historically great team. I think Michigan is the best team out of all the teams in the playoffs. I like Michigan to win the national championship. I think that's a good matchup against TCU to start off. And then I do expect Georgia to beat Ohio State, but I expect that to be a close game. And I think Michigan will be more fresh than Georgia because I think Georgia will be in a dogfight with Ohio State. Whoever wins that game between Ohio State and Georgia, it's going to be a dogfight in my opinion. So I think Michigan will have the advantage. But I do think it would be cool to see a rematch between Michigan and Ohio State. And I believe that would be the first time ever that rivalry would determine a national champion. A lot of people are not thinking about that because everybody just expects everybody expects Hubert, name of the video game. Oh, okay. Really? I thought it was Kirby. Missed that one. Anyways, but everybody expects Georgia to beat Ohio State, and that the matchup is going to be Georgia and Michigan. That's not necessarily the case. It could be Michigan and Ohio State. I'm telling you. There you go. What happened? Okay, never mind. We're good. I thought I was. I'm not frozen, am I? Because I thought there for a second it looked like I was frozen. Pigpen WPS says Arkansas fan, but shout out to Gold and Blue. Yep, appreciate you, buddy. I do have an Arkansas fan, and actually I have an Arkansas flag because when we built the shelves, we built it in front of the second closet door. There's a first closet door over here. So we're not finished with the background, guys. This is going to be extended all the way over to the beginning of that door. So the stadium display will go all the way over there. And then the very top, we're going to run a shelf from the corner of that wall to the corner of that wall, and that will be the top 25 shelf. So we're not done by a long shot. We will have plenty of room for all the helmets. Even if you're a group of five, hey, we have group of five mini helmets here. We got UTEP, we got FIU, we got Marshall, Utah State, Army, New Mexico State, Montana, Air Force, Boise State, UCF for now. Let's see. Is that it? Might be it. But still, that's plenty of group of five. We even have some lower level FCS, even Division III, like Pittsburgh State and Xavier. Xavier doesn't even have a football team right now. And somebody sent in a Xavier mini helmet. Once upon a time, they had a football team, but right now they don't. But somebody still wanted to represent, I guess, the past and sent in a Xavier mini helmet. I thought that was pretty cool. Somebody sent in a Glenville State mini helmet, which was where Rich Rod came from before he went to West Virginia. I thought that was pretty cool. Memphis Tigers mini helmet. I do not have a Memphis mini helmet. No, sir, I do not. Nobody has sent me a Memphis mini helmet just yet. I expect to get one of those because Memphis has a pretty good fan base, but not yet. Not yet. Sometimes you got to give these things time. Not all these mini helmets came at the same time. I mean, you're looking at a span of over, I would say, at least 2 months is how long it took to accumulate. Check out this mini helmet though. Somebody sent, who was it Aaron Alley? I think it was Aaron Alley. Sent a Houston mini helmet, but this one, I didn't take this one out of its case because it is signed by Ed Oliver, who is now, I think, a linebacker for Buffalo. So he's in the pros. But yeah, thought that was pretty cool. That was actually signed. And then this other one that's not out of the case is the West Virginia Country Roads edition. So this is the helmet that they wore against Pitt and Virginia Tech. So that one is not coming out of the box. But not to worry. We do have the normal, regular West Virginia mini helmet. So we're good. We got it covered. Got it covered. Yeah, the professional teams in Michigan haven't had that many great seasons here recently. Yeah, we're going to have another great season. UAB helmet. Yes, Ray Finkel's house. We do not have a UAB helmet. That's a good point. They've been having success. Jonathan Ezel says, but if Michigan and West Virginia met each other in a bowl game, I'm still rooting for my team. I understand that. Hey, absolutely. Just because I'm a West Virginia fan doesn't mean that if you subscribe to Go to Blue, you have to be a West Virginia fan. No, absolutely not. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I have way, way more subscribers that are not West Virginia fans. We have a crap ton of Georgia fans. We have a crap ton of Alabama fans. I mean, you name it. We have a crap ton of them. We do have some West Virginia subscribers, but we have a lot more non-West Virginia subscribers because I talk about all of college football all the time. So, yes, most definitely. When you subscribe to Go to Blue, Stay a fan of your team. Do not switch that up. That's what makes these college football YouTube channels so great. You have these different interactions between different fan bases. How boring would it be if we were all a fan of the same team? That would be so boring. Like there would be no drama. There would be no trolling. There would be no fighting. And that's what makes it fun. As long as you don't, start getting personal and ridiculous. I do have my Hurricanes mini helmet. It's right next to the Pitt helmet. Yes, I do have that. Becca has thoughts. Says Sooner fan here found you after the debacle last year. Yep. Oklahoma mini helmet. Got you covered. Jonathan Essel. Yes. Ohio State. I actually have 2 Ohio State mini helmets. I think somebody didn't realize that somebody else sent one. So there's one. And there's the other. So there's one Ohio State helmet. There's the other Ohio State helmet. I got 12. And the same thing actually happened. Huh. What did I do with that one? Give me 1 second. That helmet. I got 2 Kansas State helmets as well, but I don't know where the one that was. They knocked it down. Stupid cat. Love my cats, but then there we go. So yeah, we also have 2 Kansas State mini helmets. We have the one that's still in the package, and we have the one that's on the shelf. So Kansas State, Ohio State, 2 helmets. Well, West Virginia, technically I have 2 helmets, but they're different. One is the regular, and the other one was the Country Roads edition. So yes, technically I have 2 West Virginia helmets, but they are different. They're different. The Red Wing are historic. Yeah, I forgot about the Detroit Red Wings. You are correct about that. In hockey, I always like the Red Wings. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I'm very partial to the Red Wings. Did I go to West Virginia? No, but my brother graduated from West Virginia, and I was born and raised in West Virginia. I just turned 40 years old, and I did the math, and as of 2020, I've actually now lived in the state of South Carolina longer than West Virginia. So my childhood was a lot of moving back and forth from West Virginia to South Carolina, back to West Virginia, back to South Carolina. So it was a lot of back and forth. But I actually sat down and figured out the math, how many years here, how many years there. And I've actually now officially lived more of my life in South Carolina. But I was born and grew up in the state of West Virginia. So I will always be a West Virginia fan. You know what? If you count the new additions to the Big 12, I do have UCF and BYU and Houston. So even with the new additions to the Big 12, I'm only missing 2 mini helmets. Texas Tech and Cincinnati. That's it. That's it. I have all the other Big 12 mini helmets. All the current ones, Baylor, Texas, Iowa State, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, TCU, Kansas State, except for Texas Tech. And then the new ones come in, BYU, UCF, Houston. I have those 3. So it comes down to Cincinnati and Texas Tech. And then I'll have all of the Big 12. I'm actually really surprised that I haven't gotten a South Carolina mini helmet yet, because we have a very active South Carolina base as far as subscribers go here. So that one kind of surprised me, but it's all good. It's all good. I don't expect people to do that. That's a big gift. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate. That's why I do shout outs for people that send me stuff, and I need to do another one. I kind of got backed up because of the holiday season. I have like 10 things I need to shout out. But that's why I shout out people whenever they send me something, because they paid for that, and I'm getting it for free. So that's a big deal to me. That means something to me. I appreciate it a lot. All right, so the bad news keeps coming for Kansas State. They Not only did they lose momentum and they're down 21-10, but they also have to kick off to Alabama. This could get out of hand, guys. This could get out of hand. Hopefully Alabama runs this back for a touchdown, and I spoil it for all the people hearing my voice on the spammer channel. I'm hoping that Alabama runs this kickoff back, and I spoil it for you guys. That would be awesome. I thought Trent Dilfer. Oh, they tried an onside kick and did not succeed. Wow. So yes, I did spoil something big. What are you thinking, Kansas State? They tried an onside kick out of the first half, and Alabama recovers. All right, game over. Pack things up. Finito, the end. That's actually awesome. I was hoping for something big to happen that I could spoil, and it happened. That is awesome. I spoiled it. I spoiled it. Yes, sir. I spoiled it. Alabama, take a shot so I can spoil it again. Come on, now. Take a shot. They are in passing move. Back to pass. Oh, are you kidding? Wow. Just kidding. Just kidding. Nothing big happened. Yes, I am going to screw with y'all. And there's nothing you can do about it except turn the volume down. You can't do that. Yeah, Kansas State should have kicked the field goal and not kick an onside kick right there. Stupid. First down, Alabama. They're down to the 30-yard line. Kansas State. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. If Alabama scores a touchdown here, this is not good for Kansas State fans. Not good at all. I really don't. I'm not like a homer. I don't want the Big 12 to look terrible, but at the same time, I'm not a conference homer. I don't really care that much, so I don't have a vested interest. Taking a shot. Touchdown, Alabama. Touchdown, Alabama. What a throw by Bryce Young. That was put on a rope. That was put on a rope. 32-yard touchdown reception. Talk about spoiler. There's your big spoiler. Wow. That was a throw right there. Right in the corner, too. My gosh, you can't put it any better. Unbelievable. Bryce Young is really, he's really catching on fire right now. That may be all she wrote for Kansas State. They have got to get it together. Why did they do an onside kick? That ruined it. Like that. Oh, man. The Kansas State defender was right there. He didn't turn his head. He could have put his hand up or something. Wow. Wow. So all of y'all listening to Gonna Blue's voice, which is who you're listening to over on the spammer channel, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a spoiler was that one? How much did that one get on your nerves? Just wondering. I'm just wondering. Oh, am I talking too much? Do I need to stop talking too? Guys, am I talking too much? Too much talking? Kansas State falling apart before our very eyes. They got off to a 10-0 lead, and Alabama has scored 4 touchdowns unanswered. That's the problem. Unanswered. That's the big problem. Jody says Tennessee feasts on the ACC. I think that's what he said. Unbandaged says scammer channel got turned off. Well, we milked him for all he was worth, so it was fun while it lasted. But just in case it didn't get turned off and I'm being trolled, I'm not saying you're trolling me, but it happens. Yeah, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm still going to yap my head off. Because I mean, that's what I do. Whether I'm being scammed or whether I'm not being scammed, I just talk a lot. That's what it is. Always been that way, especially when it comes to college football. That's actually why I started this YouTube channel, because I literally got on my brother's nerves, my family. Oh, I was up 21-0. Pretty much any conversation that I have with anybody eventually turns to college football, and they're like, dude, you need an outlet for that. You talk about college football too much. And finally, one day, my brother showed me a bunch of college football YouTube channels and say, hey, look at this. This is all you have to do. Be yourself, be obsessed, talk about college football, and boom, you have a YouTube channel. And that's how I started Golden Blue. And we've been doing pretty good the past year and a half so far. It was a tough start, but you just got to keep working. Man, the quarterback for Kentucky is terrible. He couldn't even catch the snap right. Charlie's Noble is the vape that I use. I always get vanilla custard. Sometimes I'll switch it up and do like a hazelnut, something like that. But I really enjoy the custard flavor. That's the one that I go after. I was looking really good against Kentucky. We know that Kentucky is missing a lot of players, so it's probably more on that. But still, Iowa showed up. They're trying to get revenge on. Remember, this is a rematch from last year. Kentucky and Iowa. I think they played in the Citrus Bowl, and Kentucky beat Iowa in the Citrus Bowl. So this is like a revenge matchup, and Iowa is showing no mercy. No mercy. Joey filed a copyright claim against them, so they shut them. I was trying to take advantage of the situation, Joey. Oh well. Sorry. Whenever I see somebody like that, takes clips from others and uses it and does all that stuff, the only thing that would bother me is if people would actually be giving them money for something that's not theirs. But if they're just doing it for that, it really doesn't bother me that much. In fact, it shows me that I'm approaching relevance, that somebody's getting my voice clip and using it. So I'm approaching relevance, even if I'm not there yet, and use it to our advantage to try to draw in, more viewers, more subscribers, stuff like that. So I really don't mind scammers whenever they do that. So that doesn't bother me all that much. I'm just trying to take advantage of the situation. So most people are actually not viewing Golden Bleeded for the first time. 78% say no. But there's 21% of you that are. So if you're in that 21%, just to see how it goes, hit the subscribe button. And hey, if I get on your nerves too much and you can't stand me and you don't like it, you can always hit the subscribe button. But at least try it out. Give it a shot. At least do that, right? SEC football says they could at least tell you if they could use it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with that. Getting permission would be the civil, human thing to do, but those people don't care about that stuff. So it is what it is. I almost forgot about the Sugar Bowl. I kind of started getting entranced in the Music City Bowl. What happened? Kansas State. Did they throw an intercept? Was that a pick six? Is that what I'm watching? No, not a pick six, but an interception. Alabama just picked them off. Wow. Man, this is bad, guys. It's bad. Bad. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Yikes. Well, touchdown Alabama. My gosh. Listen. This is the best way I can explain this. I don't think that Alabama is this much better than Kansas State, this blowout that we're seeing so far, 35-10. I don't think that there's a gap as far as them just being that much better. From what I've seen in this game, here's what's happened. Chris Kleiman and Colin Kleiman, his son, have been calling a terrible offensive game. At first, they did good. They were playing to their strengths. calling runs, moving the chains, wearing out the defense, but then they started getting cute, started calling long pass plays on first downs, then having to make up for those lost plays, and they converted 2 fourth downs, got to the Alabama 3, went for it on 4th and goal on 3. It was 14-10 right there. They could have made it 14-13, but instead they don't. Alabama marches 90 yards, punches it in. They go up 21-10, and then coming out of halftime, Kansas State tries to steal a possession, kick an onside kick. Alabama recovers, and Bryce Young throws a dime, and now another interception, and they go up again. This is on the coaches. This debacle that we're watching, this is on the coaches. And Chris Kleiman is a good head coach. He has Kansas State headed in the right direction. But you can't get cute like this. This is Alabama we're talking about. Nick Saban, he's been doing this for a very long time. He's prepared for basically everything. And this is a down year for Alabama. They don't have the talent that they usually do. Still a 10-win team. This falls on the coaches. I feel bad for the players because this was just if this was the game plan all the time, this was a terrible game plan. I don't think it was. I think they switched up the game plan during the game for whatever reason. I don't know why. I really don't. It's kind of stupid if you ask me. Makes no sense. So you don't take the points and get within 1. You end up giving up a big play, 21-10. All is not lost though. 21-10. It's not that big of a deal. All right. And then the onside kick decision. Alabama recovers 28-10. Now it's a big deal. Another turnover, 35-10. Now it's over basically. That's what happens when you change up the game plan and call stupid stuff. Sheer nonsense, guys. Sheer nonsense. I honestly don't think that Kansas State was overmatched. I really don't. I think they just got away from the bread and butter. This is on the coaches. This is on the Kansas State coaches. Yep. I mean, you kick an onside kick, Alabama recovers. Defense is kind of deflated right then and there. And then another interception, and the defense has to get right back out on the field at the 10-yard line. If I was the defense, I'd be mad. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $5 donation, says, since Bama is blowing out Kansas State, does this prove they should have been the 4th playoff team? Absolutely not. No, sir. No. They had 2 losses. They lost to Tennessee and LSU. They didn't even get to the SEC championship. No, sir. No. The 4 candidates, I think there was 4. I think I counted out 4 candidates that had a shot to get that spot. In my opinion, Alabama shouldn't be number 5. Why are they ranked above Tennessee, who beat them? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, and Tennessee just absolutely blew out Clemson. Tennessee, yeah, they're better than Alabama. They beat them. And, if Tennessee picked up another loss and they had one more loss than Alabama, then yes, I would understand ranking Alabama above Tennessee. I would understand that. But they had the same amount of losses, and Tennessee beat them head-to-head. They should have been ranked above Alabama. So, Ohio State, even though I don't agree with Ohio State being in the playoffs because they didn't win their division, they would be above Alabama as far as deserving because Alabama didn't win their division either, okay? So, Ohio State, USC, because going into the Pac-12 championship, they had 1 loss, and it was by 1 point to Utah. Caleb Williams got hurt, and that USC offense nowhere as good as what we saw throughout the regular season. I think USC would have been a rough matchup for a Michigan. Maybe not Georgia. I think they actually match up fairly similar. But Ohio State, not Ohio State, but Michigan, I think that would have been an interesting matchup. USC, I think Clemson. I know. They just got blown out by Tennessee. I know. And if they had made the playoffs, they probably would have gotten blown out. But They did win the ACC championship 11-2, right? Let's see. Was there another team? Not Tennessee. They didn't win their division. They didn't get to their conference championship. Even though I think Tennessee's better than Alabama. Not Alabama. Not Kansas State. Yes, they won the 12, but 3 losses. No, that eliminates you from a 4-team playoff. Same with Utah. 3 losses, so that eliminates them as well. So yeah, it would be Ohio State, USC, Clemson. Was that it? Ohio State, Tennessee. No, Ohio State, Clemson, USC. That might have been the only 3. Not Tulane. Even though Tulane was the highest ranked group of 5, I wouldn't have had them up there like that. But yeah, so honestly, I would put in USC. That's what I would put in. I think USC just got punished for making the Pac-12 championship. And I do realize that if they would have won, they would have been in. I get that. But Ohio State didn't even have to play that extra game. If you stop the comparisons at the end of the regular season, because Ohio State didn't get past the regular season. That was it. They were done. So if you stop the comparison right there, the comparison would be USC, a 1-point loss on the road to Utah. Ohio State, a blowout loss to Michigan at home. So if the Big Ten had no divisions and Michigan and Ohio State had to play a second time, yes, I do think that Michigan would have beaten them again. But that's hearsay. We'll never know, all that stuff. The playoffs are set. We have to go with what we see. I was just giving my opinion because my opinion was asked. That's what it comes down to. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. I need to eat lunch here in a minute. J.K. Marshall says OSU gets beat by Michigan. What? Blown out at home. USC gets beat by Utah by 1 point on the road. And USC deserves a shot. What? Yeah. USC over Ohio State. Yeah, exactly. Ohio State got absolutely drilled, blasted at home by Michigan. USC gets beat by a 2-point conversion on the road to Utah if we're going by regular season only. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. USC deserves it over Ohio State. Yeah. So you're leaving out a lot of details when you leave a generic comment like that. You have to look at everything. No, Utah wasn't undefeated, but they were a good team, and it was on the road. Utah is a very tough place to win, and USC lost by 1 point. Ohio State got drilled by Michigan at home. At home. A lot of people said that Clemson going on the road and getting drilled by Notre Dame eliminated them from the playoffs. But Ohio State getting drilled at home by Michigan, Michigan was undefeated. That's a playoff team? A playoff team gets drilled at home by Michigan? Man, I need to start. I need to do more research because I was not aware of that. I did not know that a team that gets absolutely blasted at home is a playoff team. Wow, the world's really changed. Let's check the other game. Maybe Kentucky's mounting a comeback. Probably not, but you never know. You never know. Nope, no comeback. Yikes. 21-0, 6 minutes. Sorry, Sam. Hillbilly skeptic. Oh man, I wish it was going better. 4th and 2, they're going for it though, showing some fight. Going for it on 4th down against the Iowa defense is not much confidence in that. But they go for it. They get it. Kentucky converted. Okay. Still alive. Still alive. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe it becomes a football game again. But Alabama has the ball again. I think Kansas State had to punt. This game is getting ugly. Ugly. Yikes. 2nd and 4, ball on their own. I think it's 28-yard line. 24-yard line, excuse me. Run up the left side. Another 1st down, Alabama. Yikes. Yikes. Well, if you look at what's led up to this 35-10 blowout, it's not that it was too easy of a matchup for Alabama. It's the coaching staff for Kansas State has made a lot of mistakes that has led up to this point. Not taking the field goal at the 3-yard line to make it 14-13. Kicking an onside kick to start the second half, and then going down 20-10, and then another interception. I mean, this comes down to bad play calling by Kansas State. Kansas State is actually a pretty good team, but their coaches, I don't know. I think they overthought the situation. And I do think Kansas State was maybe matchup wise, it was good for Alabama because Kansas State is not a very good throwing team, and Alabama is not a very good pass defense. So it was strength on strength, and it looks like Alabama's strength is a little bit better than Kansas State. You throw in the fact that Alabama 100% has the better quarterback. There's no doubt about that. And then the bad play calling by the Kansas State coaching. So this was just unfortunate for Kansas State. Very unfortunate. I thought Alabama was going to win this game, but I thought it was going to be closer than this. But at the same time, I didn't know the coaches were going to get crazy. I mean, craziness. 4th and 1, Alabama's actually punting, which is the right decision because the ball is on their own 28. So Kansas State will get the ball back. Why he fielded that, I don't know. That was unnecessary punishment. He should have fair caught that. But they're just making terrible decisions right now. No. Alabama almost got beat by Texas on the road by 1 point. So that theory is out the window. Alabama's just not as good as what they usually are. This particular game comes down to several bad decisions made by the coaching. They didn't, and it looks like Deuce Vaughn is a little hobbled. They just taped something up. But their bread and butter was run the ball, move the chains, shorten the game, play good defense. And for whatever reason, the coach started calling, a 20-yard pass on 1st down. It's stupid. That's stupid. Dumb. Dumb. That receiver has got to catch that ball. Quarterback for Kansas State was flushed out to the left. It might have been a little bit behind him, but that was catchable, and he would have been at least close to the 1st down. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. This is what I'm talking about. Calling a pass play on 1st down. I don't understand that Kansas State. That is not how they won football games this year. and then they run it on 2nd and 10. You call a pass play on 1st, incomplete. Now you're behind the chains again. So it looks like their play calling has been pass, run, run. Pass, run, run is the sequence. That makes no sense. Oh, Kansas State. Oh, man, big play down to 15. Yeah, it was a down year for Alabama. They're 10-2. 2 losses, close losses, yes, but you also barely beat who was it? Texas A&M. You didn't look good in other games. Yes, this is a down year for Alabama. And like I said earlier, that must be nice because a down year is 10-2. That's still a good year for most programs, but for Alabama, yeah, this is. Are you in the playoffs? Down year. Did I say Alabama was bad? No, I did not. They're still good, but I mean, how would it not be a down year? I guess would be my question. Oh, trying to force it again. I don't understand that. Another first down pass call. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. Beats still counts. Barely beats still. Oh, yeah, barely beats. Yeah, a loss is a loss. You lose by 30 or you lose by 3, it's still a loss. And Alabama finished 10-2. Not in the playoffs. That's a down year. Still good. It's a good year. Like as a West Virginia fan, that would be a really really good year. So I'm not saying they had a bad year, but compared to other years, this is a down year. Well, heck, I was hearing from Alabama fans that last year was a down year because they lost in the national championship. Alabama fans were telling me, you know, not winning a national championship, that's a down year. I'm just going by what Alabama fans told me. So how could this not be a down year? You didn't even make the playoffs. And like I said, that's not me saying that Alabama was bad. They're still a good team. It's just down compared to usual. No. This game, I think this game is over. I don't think Kansas State's coming back. No, they're not one of the 4 top teams. I can't take you serious anymore. It was an engaging conversation up until you said Bama's one top. No. Alabama's having a down year this year. Everybody knows that. Dude, come on. Now you're just being silly. Now, now you're just being silly. Dude, oh my God. I was entertaining your arguments where this maybe, sort of, in some alternate reality, might not be a down year for Alabama. But now saying that I'm blindly not seeing what I'm seeing, I guess, and Alabama's a top 14. Stop. They didn't even win their own division. 2 losses. No. No. Touchdown. Is that a touchdown? No, incomplete. So let me get this straight. Hold on. Let me get this straight. So one game where they blow out Kansas State means that they're a top 14. Am I understanding that correctly? One game where they're blowing out Kansas State, terrible coaching on Kansas State, making terrible play calls. And yes, it's gotten out of hand. And yes, Alabama will blow them out, clearly. That means that Alabama is now a top 4 team and should be in the playoffs. That's just straight ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You're going to have everybody in the chat laughing at you. I'm being serious. No, Alabama's not a top 4 team. That's ridiculous. You're the one that's blindly not seeing what Alabama did in the regular season. What you do in the regular season and yes, championship week determines if you get into the playoffs. If you have a good ball game, that doesn't mean that you should have been in the playoffs. Why didn't you blow out everybody in the regular season? That doesn't make any sense. You have to go on what you did, not, oh, see, they had a good game, ball game, top 14. You're blindly ignoring the facts. Top 14, they're blowing out Kansas State. Dude. See if Kentucky can make this a game real quick. Probably not. Nope, still 21-0. Oh, man. Thanks. $2.19. Well, Kentucky does have the ball. Man, if they could just score a touchdown, they could get back in this game, but they can't do it. It's like, I guess 21-0 is basically a blowout when you're talking about Iowa. Iowa has a really good defense, and it's 2nd and 24 for Kentucky. This is a bad game for them. Put Iowa in the playoffs. They're whooping Kentucky 21-0. Iowa's a playoff team, guys. What were they thinking not putting Iowa in? They are clearly an amazing team, blasting Kentucky 21-0. I guess the question now is, can Kansas State at least make this respectable? Because I do not see them coming back from this. This is officially a train wreck. 35-13, about 6.5. I mean, there's a lot of time left, but man, they need several miracles in a row to get back in this. $6:33 left. Will Kansas State try another onside kick? You just never know. But it looks like Alabama's coming up to the line because they don't want to chance it. They actually kicked it off. Wow. Wow. When you start going into transference, then you really can never tell who should be in the playoffs. Okay, so Kansas State beat TCU. Now that Alabama blowing Kansas State out, that means TCU should be in the playoffs, right? Well, Tennessee got blown out by South Carolina, and Tennessee beat Alabama. So that eliminates Alabama, right? I mean, we could do this all day long. If you want to go by that, they got beat by that team, and we blew out that team. So that means that team shouldn't be in. Then Alabama's eliminated because they got beat by Tennessee, and Tennessee got blown out by South Carolina. South Carolina got beat by Notre Dame. Should Notre Dame be in the playoffs? Oh, wait, no. Notre Dame got beat by Marshall. Marshall should get in the playoffs. No, Marshall got – who did? No, Marshall got beat by Troy. Troy should be in the playoffs. The transference thing could go on and on and on. Just because one team got beat by a team that got blown out by another team, that doesn't mean anything. That's stupid. We're going back to kindergarten whenever you start doing stuff like that. Do you know what you have to do to get in the playoffs? Win your games. That's what it comes down to. Alabama lost 2 games. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. You lost to a team that got drilled by South Carolina. Drilled. So you want to do a head-to-head comparison? Alabama lost to a Tennessee who got drilled by South Carolina. Kansas State or TCU lost to Kansas State, who's getting drilled by Alabama. Which one's worse? I would say Alabama losing to Tennessee, who got drilled by South Carolina, would be worse. I mean, we can play the transference game if you want to. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $5 donation, says the SEC has 12 non-conference wins since the college football playoffs. Bama 8, Georgia 2, LSU 2. How many does the Big 12 have? Well, you also got to look at the SEC scheduling. And this is not me trash talking the SEC. This is actually really, really smart. They schedule 4 out of conferences, and hardly any of them are on the road. This year, I will give credit to Alabama. They finally scheduled on the road, and they beat Texas by 1 point. And then 4 road conference games and 4 home conference games. The SEC protects their brands as much as possible to minimize the risk of them losing, which is smart. Other conferences need to start doing that. West Virginia had 6 true road games this year, which is next year we'll have 6 true road games. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $2 donation, says 12 non-conference top 5 wins. I got you. Somebody get rid of the 6 box, please. Those things are annoying. If y'all are interested in the sex bot, you might want to go ahead and click on it because we're about to get rid of it. Third and 13. Alabama with the ball on their own 45. Looks like Kansas State's coming with the blitz. I don't know if that's a good idea, Bryce Young. Oh, sacked. Kansas State got to him. That one actually surprised me. They were coming with almost a zero blitz. Not quite. Almost a zero blitz. So I thought Bryce Young would have an open receiver quickly. West Virginia Stadium is half the capacity of Neyland Stadium. Yeah. Okay. Hillbilly Skeptic, thank you for the $2 donation, says, how many does the Big Ten have? I don't know. I'll have to actually look into that, and I might actually do a video. That's not a bad video idea right there. That's how my brain works, guys. Like, comments can trigger something. I can watch a game and start thinking about something else, or I saw an article here and I think about something else. I mean, video ideas just pop in my head all the time, even the comment section. I might do a video on how Alabama should be in the playoffs this year. That's a good video idea. There you go. I got you, Alabama fans. I will do a video on why Alabama should have made the playoffs. They are a top 4 team. .350 left. Kansas State did put a field goal on the board, so now it's 35-13, but oh, man. Now they're going back to the correct game plan, running the ball. 7-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 3. Too little, too late, too bad, too sad. You are going to lose this game, Kansas State. Wet Blanket says they should have won the games required to make the playoffs. No. Did you not hear the other dude? Alabama is just the top 4 team. That doesn't matter. Okay? That doesn't matter. Losing 2 games doesn't matter. Regular season doesn't matter. It's if you blow somebody out in a bowl. That proves whether you're a playoff team or not. I think Michigan will actually blow out TCU. I think it's a bad matchup for TCU. I think Michigan is actually going to be the national champion. I think they're a better team than Michigan, and of course, head to head, they whooped Ohio State. So, I think Michigan is going to be the national champions this year. Better team than last year. They're not running into a historically great Georgia team like they did last year in the first round. So I think Georgia, Ohio State's going to be a dogfight. So I think that Michigan's going to have a lot more energy. I think they're ready this year. We could be looking at a rematch between Ohio State and Michigan for the national championship. That's possible. Everybody's thinking that it's going to be a gimme for Georgia. I think it's going to be a close win for Georgia. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to matter because I do think that Michigan will beat TCU. I think the final score I had was 38-21. I don't like TCU's defense, and I think Michigan's defense is going to be the best defense that they played all year. So I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think Michigan will beat them handily. 4th and 16 for Kansas State, taking shots all over the place because they get behind the chains, and that's all they can do. I think Kansas State has basically given up. That tight end should have caught that, though. That was a good pass by the quarterback. Well, that's what I was saying earlier about Alabama. Anybody that beat Alabama was considered, automatically a national championship contender. You look at Tennessee. Tennessee jumped all the way up to number 1 for 1 week because they beat Alabama, and then LSU got jumped up to all the way to number 5 because they beat Alabama. It just didn't make much sense. LSU finished with what, 4 losses in the regular season? Tennessee finished 10-2, same as Alabama. Well, 11-2 because they beat Clemson in the Orange Bowl. But next year we'll probably see Alabama go undefeated, get to the playoffs, and be a contender for the national championship. It wasn't their year this year. They weren't quite as good as they usually are. But still, I wish I was part of a fan base where a down year was a 10-win season. That'd be a nice life right there. But at the same time, it might make me delusional where if they do go 10-2 and blow out somebody in a bowl, I might start thinking that they should have been in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know how it would affect me. Could, maybe. Yes, UCLA was 1 win away from Pac-12 championship. I predicted UCLA to come close to a 10-win season. Everybody was like, what are you talking about? UCLA will be lucky to make a bowl. Apparently, they were not watching what Chip Kelly was doing over there because last year they went 8-4, and their schedule actually set up even better this year. That's why I thought that they would take another step forward, and they did. And DTR was one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12. If you didn't expect UCLA to be better than what they were last year and get to a good bowl, you weren't paying attention. That prediction was easy. I didn't have to do a bunch of research and go out on a limb or anything like that. That was almost a common sense prediction, to be honest with you. So people that didn't understand that, I was like, how do you not understand? Same thing with Michigan State. I saw that Michigan State was going to take a massive step backwards because last year they didn't have a good defense. Bryce Young still just picking apart Kansas State. They're not even tackling now. He broke 2 tackles, touchdown Alabama. This is going to be 42-13. Kansas State has quit. They're not even trying to tackle now. But for who was I talking about? That guy. I know I was talking about UCLA there. But for UCLA, Chip Kelly's been recruiting at a very high level. Victor, the game was over whenever Kansas State attempted an onside kick and failed to recover, and Alabama scored to make it 20-10. That's when the game was over. Stupid decision. Stupid consequences from those decisions. So this was on Chris Klieman. His play calling, or his son's play calling, whichever one it was, made no sense. This was a terrible, terrible game plan by Kansas State. But for you, this one, look, let's not diminish the win for Pitt. I hate Pitt just like the next West Virginia fan, just as much, maybe more. But that was a very good win by Pitt, especially with all the people that they lost, either in the portal or sitting out. Tide Guy, one of my biggest Alabama supporters. We have an Alabama fan, I'm guessing he's an Alabama fan, saying that because Alabama is blowing out Kansas State, they're a top 4 team and should have made the playoffs. Do you agree, Tide Guy? Honest opinion. I'm not going to be mad either way. I just want to get your honest opinion. Does Alabama blowing out Kansas State prove that they should have made the playoffs? Because, you know, TCU lost to Kansas State. TCU's in the playoffs. So the rationale for the guy that was talking to me was Alabama blew Kansas State out. Kansas State beat TCU. Ergo, Alabama should be in the playoffs. I countered by saying Alabama got beat by Tennessee. Tennessee got blown out by South Carolina. I want to get your opinion. Does Alabama blowing out Kansas State prove that they should be in the playoffs? I don't think so, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe blowing out somebody in the bowl means more than what you do in the regular season. Ty Guy says, I think Alabama is better than TCU, but TCU deserved 100% to be in the playoffs. That's a fair comment. That is a fair comment. Very fair. Just like, see, that's my same rationale as Ohio State USC. Ohio State may be a better team than USC. Maybe. But I think USC deserved to get in over Ohio State because they got to their conference championship. The argument with USC and Ohio State has to stop at the end of the regular season because Ohio State didn't make it past the regular season. So that's kind of the same argument. So I'm okay with that. That's a good argument. I'm okay with that. I don't think that Alabama's a top 4 team, though. Maybe better than TCU? Maybe. Maybe. I would have to see those two play. And we'll see how TCU looks against Michigan. But I would have even if you take TCU out because you think Alabama's better than TCU, I would still have Ohio State in over Alabama. I would have USC in over Alabama. And that would fill your top 4. Tennessee in over Alabama. Tennessee beat Alabama head-to-head. And they just absolutely drilled Clemson in the Orange Bowl. So, yeah, I would have Tennessee in over Alabama. We were talking earlier, Tide Guy, about we had some new viewers in, and we don't have an Auburn mini helmet. We have about 50, maybe a little bit over 50. But some of the bigger names, brands, fan bases, whatever you want to call it, that we don't have. Tennessee, somebody might be sending a Tennessee mini helmet. That's up to them. Auburn, I know somebody did send one. I haven't got it yet. I'm going to check the mailbox today to see if I got it today. Let's see who else. I'm surprised I don't have South Carolina because we have a lot of South Carolina guys. Georgia, that one really surprises me. Even Oregon from the Pac-12. What about Oregon? Well, we do have Washington actually. Almost made a mistake, but I didn't. We don't have Oregon. We don't have Nebraska. Florida, we don't have. Texas A&M. Texas A&M. We don't have a Texas A&M mini helmet yet. So, we have any Texas A&M subscribers? You want to represent Texas A&M on the stadium seating display of mini helmets? Once again, Kansas State taking a shot on first. That's what their game plan looks like. Kansas State taking a shot first down, then run. What a terrible, terrible game they've called today. It makes no sense at all. Stupid. How much longer do you think he'll last at A&M? Speaking of. Yeah, the new generation of Alabama fans forget about the 20 years or 15 years of irrelevancy that Alabama had to go through between 92 and when Nick Saban got to Alabama. Alabama was bad. For 15 years, Alabama was not good. So don't take this for granted. Once Nick Saban retires, you can't guarantee that Alabama will still be, the Alabama that we know right now. Maybe they can take advantage of the NIL and just keep pumping in great players. But if that coach, look at Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, talent isn't everything. You have to have a good coaching system. So we'll see. Appreciate it, Douglas Graham. We're not done yet either. We're not done yet. We're gonna stretch out the stadium mini helmet display all the way to the edge of that door, and then at the top we're gonna do one single shelf mounted to the wall, one side to the other, and that will be our top 25 shelf. So we are not done by a long shot. Now I will have to get one of those grabbers to move the helmets to take some top 25 teams down and put some of the others, because I don't want to climb up that. That would break. So I'll have to get one of those grabbers to where I'll have to move the mini helmets like that. Yeah, I think Utah's head coach is a good one as well. And I do think that Kansas State has a good coach, but this was not one of his better games. He's called it terrible, 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 terrible. It happens. It happens. If Alabama wins this bowl, they'll go to 3-4, and the Big 12 drops to 1-6. We have had a here. What am I saying? We? I'm not a Big 12 owner. The Big 12 has had a 1-6 record. Not a good year for bowls for the Big 12. The SEC had a bad one last year. They're not going great this year, but 3-4 is most certainly better than 1-6. Jeez. Well, actually, with Kentucky, I'm assuming Kentucky's going to lose to Iowa. It's going to be 3-5. That's not good, but it's still better than 1-6. 1-6 is just bad, really, really bad. And it is still 21. That I think the Music City Bowl is basically over. It's still 21-0. Iowa. That's basically like a regular team being up 42-0. About 9.5 minutes left. Iowa just got a first down. That game's over. So it looks like the SEC will go to 3-5, and the Big 12 will go to 1-6. Not sure about the bowl record for the ACC and the Big 10. I'll have to look that up. But terrible bowl season for the Big 12. Not good at all. Pitt had some head scratching losses that didn't make any sense. I agree with that. I think 10-2 probably. You look at their overall body of work, how they looked the entire season. 10-2, yeah, I can agree with that actually. They just had some weird losses that didn't make any sense. Beating UCLA in their last game, that was a tremendous win. I'll probably do a video on the West Virginia basketball game. It's our first Big 12 conference basketball game on the road to Kansas State. Even though Kansas State is not ranked, they beat a top 10 Arkansas at home. So I'm very, very concerned with that game. I actually do think West Virginia will lose to Kansas State on the road, which is fine. It happens. Big 12 is tough in basketball. It's a road game. Sky's not falling if that happens. All is not lost. Just, that's what I'm expecting. West Virginia proves me wrong, and they beat Kansas State on the road. But I personally am expecting West Virginia to lose to Kansas State. That's what I'm expecting. Hopefully, I'm wrong. If TCU wins it all, wow. Yeah, then bowl season doesn't matter. Just like what the SEC last year said. They had a terrible bowl season, but Georgia playing Alabama and Georgia beating Alabama made the rest of the bowl season not matter. So yeah, that's fair. If it's that way for the SEC, if TCU somehow wins out and wins the national championship, then yeah, precedent has been set. Your conference, a team in a conference wins the national championship. Rest of the bowl season doesn't matter. There you go. I will have to cut this a little bit short. Number one, it's a blowout. Number two, got some other. I gotta pick up my daughter and take her to the grandparents. She wanted to spend the night with my parents, so we're gonna do that. But we got a few more minutes, guys. So if you're new to Go to Blue Dude, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. This is what we do every single day. You do not have to be a West Virginia fan to be subscribed to Go to Blue Dude. Just because I'm a West Virginia fan doesn't mean that you have to be a West Virginia fan. We talk all college football, and check out the Patreon page. We have contests going on all year round. We have the score prediction contest going on in the regular season. We awarded $20 every single week this past season. And basically, all you have to do, join Patreon, and then the game that I pick out, you pick the winner, and whoever gets closest to the score, boom, $20 right there. And you can win as many times as you want. We had somebody win it 4 times. So that's $80. They won $80. Then we had championship week. Robert Gurney won championship week. That was $25. I'm still waiting for his PayPal handle so I can send him that $25. Right now, we have bowl season prediction. The winner of that will receive $50. Second place prize will be a flat bill autographed Go to Blue hat, and then third prize will be a shout out. And then March Madness, the NCAA tournament, the big dance. That's going to be our biggest contest of the year. The prize at minimum, first place prize at minimum will be $50, but I'm thinking it's going to be $100. We got to top $50. We'll make that the biggest contest of the year on a year in and year out basis. So we'll make first place prize $100 for the March Madness, and then beyond that, we're going to have a drawing every month where I'm going to pay for a Patreon's membership. And if I draw a Patreon that's only a $2 Patreon, we'll keep going until we hit $10. So I will pay at minimum $10 worth of membership. If I draw a $20 member, I will pay that $20 membership for that month. So that drawing will happen every month. Score prediction contest will be back next regular season. Championship week contest will be back next championship week. Bowl prediction contest will be back next bowl season. And March Madness, the big dance not score prediction, but just picking the winners. There will be no scores involved when it comes to the big dance prediction. And that will be our biggest contest of the year. And we'll decide what prize we award. At minimum, $50, but I'm thinking $100. Alabama attempting around a 50-yard field goal, and of course, that is good. So now it's 45-13. Anyways, shout out to everybody stopping by. If you heard me from the Scammer channel and you stopped by, appreciate you stopped by. Tell me if the voice matched the face that you were picturing. I'm going to cut this a little short. I got to go pick up my daughter and take her to my parents. She wanted to spend the night with grandparents. And we're actually going to hang out with some family members to ring in the new year. So that's going to be fun as well. You have a great rest of your day. We still have some playoff games. I'm not going to be live streaming the playoff games. I got other things to do, but I will be doing regular videos. Here recently, I've been super busy. We've been doing 3, 4, sometimes 5 videos in one day. That's how much content we put out here at Golden Blue Dude. So keep your eyes out for more videos. But for this live stream, we're going to call it a wrap. This is basically a blowout. So I got to take advantage of the time that I have so I can get some other things done. But Appreciate everybody stopping by. There's no live stream without you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out Golden Blue. YouTube has got to figure out how to start recommending my videos more. That is really getting on my nerves. We have a mass texting system that we do. A lot of people have signed up for it where Joey will text you, hey, Golden Blue is going live in 10 minutes. If it wasn't for that, then we might be even lower as far as viewership. We have to do what we have to do until YouTube gets it together. They were doing great there for a while, but recently they're just not recommending. I don't know why. But anyways, sorry, Kansas State fans, not your day. Getting blown out by Alabama. Same thing for Kentucky fans. Hillbilly Skeptic, man. Sorry, bud, just not your day. A lot of people sitting out and transferring out of Kentucky. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. This is the last day of 2022, guys. New Year starts tomorrow. Let's make it a good one. Last year, we went from around 4,000 to 12,000 subscribers. What does 2023 hold for Golden Blue? And how many subscribers will we be talking about at the end of 2023? I don't know, but I can't wait. I think we're going to have a fantastic year. So have a good rest of your 2022. One more day, and let's ring in the new year the right way. Let's have a good 2023. Y'all have a good Saturday. Enjoy the playoff games.